Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you a couple of games that I played in the rated pool of Endgame.ai. That is Hans Niemann's chess platform, in case you don't know. So I played a few games there. It was my first time trying to climb up the ladder. I tilted a little bit, I lost a couple of games, so hopefully you'll find this entertaining. For the games that I lost, I gave an analysis, like a more appropriate analysis, by the end of the video. Right when I lost, I felt a little bit tilted. I wanted to, get that next game in as soon as possible. Perhaps you've been there before, and but I did try to analyze everything. So if you're a beginner player, hopefully you will learn something from this, and if not, just enjoy seeing the climb and the struggle and everything. I expect the opposition to be quite tough on this platform, but also probably there aren't many people. See if the scene is appropriately set up. Seems like it. I'll start with e4, best by test. And they play a d6, so they are likely to go for the Pirc's defense with something along these lines. Going to occupy the full center. Usually a good idea when you can do it. Now I'll defend my pawn, which is under attack. Okay, now they go for that. I could go here for the Austrian attack. I don't know the theory, but I mean, it is kind of fun to put the 3 pawns in the center. Now I'll put my knight behind the pawn. I don't really know the theory here, but usually you can get along well without knowing theory when you're playing this kind of when you're playing at this level, you can get away with not knowing theory really. So I'm going to castle kingside. There we go. Now I've pretty much finished my development. If he wants to give me the bishop pair, then I'll be very, very happy to take that. Now I wonder if I want to open this up and go for this. But let's just keep it simple. Keep it simple like this. There are no discoveries that I should be aware of, so if they try to grab over here, I just grab that. Like there's nothing they can do. Okay, they try to attack this twice. They think maybe I will not find out that they are attacking the pawn. I will just simply defend it. Okay, and they strike there. Now, opening things up for that rook wouldn't be a good idea, but closing up this bishop would be an excellent idea. So I'm going to simply push. Now, if they take, do I take with a pawn? With which pawn? I think I take with this pawn, opening up my bishop and offering a trade of queens. I'm going to probably trade where I will activate my other rook. It's kind of a good idea. Okay, he's going for that, which doesn't really make much sense. I mean, he's hoping for a trade of queens, then I get your pawn over here. So I should probably move this way, I think, potentially. I have to do either that or just... yeah, I'll go here, and not only am I defending, but I'm also threatening to just win this knight. Let's see if they will see it. Maybe they don't see it. Okay, they missed it, so that's going to be a free piece for me. Check. I'll just take the knight. Well, actually, they can go over here. They have to go over here. They go over here and they lose a pawn. Never mind. I don't win the knight. Oh, okay. They let me win the knight. That's awesome for me. I'm quite happy about winning a knight. I probably will not take this pawn until... Okay, well, they defend it anyway. I mean, this player not very high rated, definitely. Going to hit that rook and the knight. Like, when you're up material, you usually want to trade, but I still want to keep my bishop. But what the heck is that? Okay, so, well, now I just grab a free rook. I mean, why not? Grab a free rook. Yeah, this opponent not very high rated, definitely. Okay, he's hitting this, but he didn't realize that this is not a trade even, because I'm hitting the queen there. So now I just get to move my bishop back and just have an extra bishop, simply. I can even move the bishop over here, which is kind of nice. It's actually a very nice place to put the bishop in, because it stops anything from going there, including this king. So kind of a nice thing. Okay, he wants to attack my bishop. I can just simply either offer a trade here, which seems like a really good idea, or I can simply move the bishop back. I think I'm going to offer a trade of bishops. It's a trade they basically cannot refuse, so kind of glad to offer that one. Going to offer this trade. Usually, I mean, I pin the bishop. That's why I say they can't really refuse the trade. Now, trading for them is not really a good idea, but they couldn't help it. Oh, this comes with a check. They have to oppose the queen. I didn't even count with that part of the deal, but I mean, this is just absolutely fantastic for me. I'm up material, lots of material. I can even grab another pawn if I'm super greedy. I might just offer the trade of rooks right away, to be honest. Like, I'm going to be practical. I'm going to offer a trade of rooks right away. Going to go over here, offer the trade of rooks. Obviously, they shouldn't trade. And they don't, but they will not have much of a choice. I'm going to go... going to double up here. Going to double up with my rooks. My intention is going over here, where they are basically forced to go for trades. They have... okay, I'm going to jump with a knight. Jumping in here, a pretty good idea, because when I take, I'm also controlling squares around the king too, which is kind of nice. Okay, well, but now I'm not going to trade right away, because again, my idea is I'm going to trade this rook and potentially mate the king. Maybe not in that order, but yeah, it will happen. Okay, the king goes over there. I can simply jump over here with ideas. I'm going to go here with a knight. I want to start something against that king. Goes over there. I have this winning the rook. If I don't just simply mate, but I mean, I just win the rook. I will win the rook, and then notice that he's not stalemated. First of all, because he does have a square here to go to. Not many, but he does have one. And apart from that, there's the fact that he also has pawns. As long as your opponent has pawns, you don't really need to worry about stalemate. Now, I think I'll go over here. The king basically can't move, can only go there. So I just go over here, then I'll go over here. And yeah, that's going to be very, very, very close to a checkmate. You'll also probably do something else, like if let's see, where can I check this king from? That's really, yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea. To do that in the order that I just mentioned is a pretty good idea. So I'll do that. I go here. Okay, I will not allow my opponent to get a promotion of any sort. So I'll just take that. But now I have to be careful that my opponent actually does have moves, because otherwise my opponent is hoping for a stalemate, obviously. But they do have this move. So I'm going to go here, pin this pawn. So at that point, the only move that they have is this one. Oh, wait. I can go here. Yeah, on that note, I can go here. Or here. I can go here. Then if king goes over there, there's this. Oh yeah, but at that point I don't have the pawn move. Never mind. I'll go here first. Now the king will dance here. After I move my king here, the king will have to dance between these two squares. So after I go here, there's only one move. Well, not only one move. They can still move the pawn. But if they move the pawn, then I just go here. And that's just simply mate. Everything is covered. So I just go here. King goes back, which is very, very likely. I'll go here. And I believe that's going to be mate after this, this, and this. All right. So pawn checkmate it is. Let's go over the game. I don't think there is much to analyze from this game, but we'll see. I will evaluate first without the engine. I recommend if you're a beginner intermediate player. Well, actually, for every level of player, this is recommended. But I mean, in general, for us beginner intermediate level players, it's particularly useful to analyze a little bit without the engine, and then take a look at what the engine says. So here again, I'm telling you this is the Pirc's defense. Like basically, it's if you're not familiar with Pirc's defense, let's say Black has this setup against queen's pawn openings, like against d4, or even against like c4, you know, queenside pawn openings. There's knight f6, d6, g6, bishop g7, castles in some order, usually in the order knight f6, g6, bishop g7, d6 when e4 is played, and then castle. So the thing is, that setup is called the King's Indian defense when it's against d4, c4, and the like, but against e4, that is called the Pirc's defense, and it's considered a completely different beast. So that tells you how much depth there is in just the fact of when there's a very small change in the position. I mean, you look at the pieces and they look in very, very similar positions, but the fact that here I start with e4 means that this setup is no longer going to be a King's Indian. Precisely, it's going to be a Pirc's defense. So again, I don't know theory, and I don't expect you to know theory if you want to learn something from this. I mean, maybe you're just watching for mere entertainment, but if you want to learn, if you're, you know, maybe a beginner player and you want to learn a little bit from me, I mean, you might get some useful information, I believe, if I may say so myself. So what I can say to you, if you're a beginner, is there's no need at our level to know really opening theory. I mean, I hope to I want to learn in the future some opening theory. I mean, but in general, just play normal looking moves. Know like a couple of answers to stuff that you face very often, but you don't need to learn very deep. So no need for that kind of memorization. Just learn a little bit about the idea. So ideas here, and also ideas stick in general much more than learning lines of opening theory. So in this case, we have the I'm taking the center with 2 pawns because my opponent allowed me to. So usually when you can get the full center, then it is a good idea to do so. And it is a very easy way to get an advantage. Like, I mean, if you play for control of the center, that's going to be an easy way of getting an opening advantage in a lot of cases. So if your opponent plays this other more hyper-modern school kind of stuff with the fianchetto and trying to control the center from the flank and attack it later on, but not occupy it with pawns. Against that, you're going to get an opening advantage all the time if you play just principled chess and play for control of the center precisely. So this is the Austrian attack, I believe, and well, not I believe, I'm sure it's the Austrian attack. Now, I don't know the theory, but I have to say it looks formidable. You know, it looks great. So I play it a lot of times just because, you know, I could just go knight f3 here, and I have done so in many games, and then like bishop d3 and castles. That also works, but I mean, this is fine. You're just pushing the pawn right away, and also it's intimidating. Like, I feel like a lot of players feel intimidated from the black side when they see that their opponent is grabbing all the space they can get when they are playing these hyper-modern openings. If they don't know theory, at least, they're going to feel very intimidated. I think this was the case with my opponent, that he didn't know much theory, because, I mean, from all the play that we got, I get that he wasn't such a strong player. Of course, we all start somewhere, and, you know, I'm not a very strong player myself. I'm just learning, but, I mean, I do believe that he was more on the beginner side. Now, I go I go knight f3, so knight behind the pawn and, you know, controlling the center, all very nice, very principled. He castled, I went bishop e2. Here I could have gone like bishop e4, bishop c4, sorry, bishop d3. I preferred to go bishop e2 because I was anticipating something like this. Like I didn't want to be pinned for no reason, and I thought that the bishop would be nice here, because if I go like bishop d3, for instance, the bishop is not really staring at anything. It's reinforcing this pawn, but it's not doing much else. Like, you know, they have this setup over here. I don't believe that my bishop would be putting much pressure. On c4, however, that could be a nice square, because I would be staring at this point, which is a little bit weaker. You know, if they intend to at some point break in the center with e5, for instance, then this diagonal will be a pretty strong one to have the bishop in. But I went with a more modest e2, bishop e2. I thought that was good. So now knight c6, hitting this pawn. Notice that the pawn is now protected twice, but my opponent intended, as he played afterwards, to play this move. So you have to always be careful in these kinds of positions about a potential discovery with this knight and the bishop. You know, when you have for the moment, there's only one attacker here, but at any time there could be some tricks with this knight moving and then the bishop attacking, which is something that my opponent tried to do, but hoping. I mean, he was playing sort of hope chess at that point, just hoping that I wouldn't see it. Like, he went over here. I asked the question of the bishop, you know, if you get the bishop pair, that's really nice. And actually, this bishop went over here with the intention of capturing. Like, it has no other intention, because if the bishop tries to go back, then I just trap it, and then I win a piece, because there are these pawns over here, so the bishop cannot go back. And if the bishop now retreats, like, well, over here, it would also get forked. And over here, then, I mean, why would you do that? Like, I mean, is there any there's no advantage for my opponent to go here and make me push this pawn. Like, a lot of times you want to force a weakness like that, but in this case I don't believe that this is a weakness at all. Like, I already have this pawn over here, even though I have my king there. I mean, launching some pawn storm on the king side might not be really out of the question. I think, you know, this pawn over here is not a bad thing at all. So trying to force the opponent to create weaknesses in their camp is a solid, is a great way of playing, and something that you know, at the high level is done all the time. But in this case, that really doesn't do anything. Like, I mean, this is not a weakness, I do believe. I mean, in this particular position, I don't think that would be a weakness. Maybe someone would disagree with me. But so therefore, when the bishop goes over here, it went here with the intention of capturing, which they did. And now I have the bishop pair, which is considered an advantage in almost any position. So, especially in open positions. But I mean, it's very rare that the position is completely closed, so having the bishops tends to be very, very good. And also, if you reach an endgame and you have the bishops as opposed to the knights, then you have a very big asset there, because the bishops can control squares from far away, and also can control a lot of squares. They work great, especially together, but also in an endgame, the bishop is much better at stopping pawns than a knight. The knight has to jump around and is a little bit clumsy when it has to stop a passed pawn or support a passed pawn, whereas the bishops can do that magnificently well. Therefore, yeah, the bishop pair, good asset, so I wanted that, and I got it. Now my opponent sees that maybe they can start something here, and I was aware of this. When I took over here, I was aware of the fact that after this trade, I had to be careful about discoveries. Like, right now, there's nothing really of a discovery. Like, I mean, because if they try to do something with this knight, like, I mean, what can they try to do? Like, grab this pawn, for instance? Yeah, good luck. Like, I mean, I just grab the knight, and then I don't care if afterwards you grab this other pawn. I mean, I just grab the knight for 2 pawns. So no big deal. So my opponent tried this, and this is, I believe, just hope chess. Like, I don't know if my opponent expected to do anything else after this. I do believe they pushed this pawn or something, so maybe that was also the idea. but it strikes me a little bit as hope chess, like just wishful thinking. They thought maybe, you know, the opponent will not see that the pawn is twice under attack now, and then I will just grab a pawn. So, but I did see it, and I defended. I defended with by developing another minor piece. Now all of my minor pieces are developed. I mean, well, the remaining 3 at least. And my opponent pushed f5, which may have been also the idea behind moving this pawn over here, this knight over here, perhaps. Now, this gave me a really good chance, I believe, of locking this position, like this diagonal like this. Even though I have the bishop pair, so I shouldn't play for like a closed position, but I didn't think that that my position would really close. And this bishop in these fianchetto variations, you really want that piece to shine. Now the piece doesn't shine. It's completely locked behind the pawns. Like if black takes over here, then I take back like it happened in the game. And now I have this completely locked. Now, here I could have taken this way. And that didn't strike me as a great idea. I mean, then my opponent's pawns are free to go. And this, however, completely locks this bishop for real, because I have this pawn, and not only that, but if this pawn should ever come under fire at any point, then I still have this other pawn to support it. And so this is this pawn island. You know, pawn islands when pawns are all close together in the sense of you know, in adjacent files with each other. So this pawn island much better than the resulting 3 pawn islands after this. Usually the fewer pawn islands that you have, the better in general. But I mean, granted, if I had put this pawn over here instead, then you could say, well, you have a little bit more central control perhaps. But I really like this. Also, it has the added benefit, I mean, now that I look at it, that it also takes away this square from... Well, no, this one also took away this square. And never mind. I was going to say that I take away the square from the knight, I mean, but that's a benefit that you would get in both cases. Anyway, now in this position, my opponent can trade the queens. I wasn't scared about that. I mean, I have the bishop pair. Not only that, but if my opponent wants to head to an endgame, I was even looking at giving back the bishop pair, taking over here and doubling the pawns. And then if we head towards an endgame and my opponent has this kind of pawn structure, you know, a damaged pawn structure, all other things being pretty much equal, then that would also be a positional advantage for me. He went over here with a clear intention of taking there, and then afterwards, after I take with one of the rooks, well, let's say with this one, then he would grab this pawn for free. So I didn't want that to happen, therefore I went over here, defending the pawn. Now, keep in mind that I'm doing analysis, just telling you what I thought during the game and what I think, not with the engine, so perhaps, and very likely, a lot of my moves are wrong here. Like, for instance, now that I look at this, I think maybe there was also something like this, where, you know, they still cannot capture this pawn, because if they go for this, and the capture of that pawn, then they lose a rook. So that was also a possibility. I still think my move was probably best, because I mean, if I had gone for something like this, then they might have gone for that and then still staring there. So but I mean, that's to give you an example of like that there may be some moves that I didn't consider and that are super good. Obviously, I mean, if that weren't the case, then you could just claim that I was a certified cheater, because I mean, that's the only way that you're going to play like an engine, especially if you're like beginner intermediate player. Now, okay, so here I wasn't just defending the pawn, and this is another thing. Like if you can defend, but at the same time you can pose some threat, that tends to go under the radar a lot of times, because when the opponent or when we see someone defending against our threat, we think that they are just defending. We don't think that they are attacking. Usually we fail to see the other purpose. And here I wasn't just defending, but by defending, I was threatening to go over here. Granted, I mean, after he pushed this pawn, I mean, here, if I had one more move, this just straight up wins a knight, because there's nothing you can do. Like, if you try to interpose here, then I just take it with thanks, you know? But the thing is, he pushed this pawn, and I missed that after this. I mean, even though the move is still good, because if they go over here, I'm still winning a pawn, because I have 3 attackers versus 2 defenders. But the point is that I don't win a knight. I win a pawn in that case. But, however, the opponent failed to see that. Instead of playing here, they just lost the full piece. And now they pushed here, trying to defend this pawn, not realizing that now this one was undefended, and also not realizing that losing this pawn wasn't so bad, I believe. I mean, even though, yeah, the opponent is down a piece, but I honestly wasn't even going to take over here. Because after it takes something like this, and then let's say I get greedy and I want to take again or something, then there is the rook landing over here. The position becomes a little bit messier. And yes, you can go for that if you're not up a piece, perhaps, and you can consider, well, this is my chance to grab a few pawns and make my opponent prove that they have enough compensation. But if you're in the position where you're already up a piece, I mean, simple chess dictates that there's no need of going pawn grabbing. Like these pawns that are on the knight pawns on their original squares here are a classic temptation for the queen to go and grab it, and then a lot of times they tend to be poisoned, even to the point where a lot of times a grandmaster will play a move that just allows the opponent to grab that, and will not even calculate the potential complications if they grab it. They will just play, and they will say, like, I have heard them say things like, yeah, I mean, that like if they get surprised by someone actually capturing, they're like, I didn't think they would take there. Like I didn't I wasn't even looking at that, because I didn't think they would take there. They would go for that, because usually it doesn't work. A lot of times it doesn't work. And I shouldn't say usually, probably, but a lot of times it doesn't work, to the point that you know, you can probably even blunder a knight pawn like this without thinking about it too much. Like, usually, I mean, to a queen, if we're talking about a queen grabbing it, like, the queen is the most powerful piece, therefore it gets attacked left, right, and center by any other piece, not just pawns, by knights, by rooks, by bishops, by anything, you know, everything is an attack on a queen. So, yeah. Now, my opponent blundered this one, and that also blunders that one, by the way. But I do believe, I mean, obviously I saw that there was more stuff to grab, but, oh, well, now there was a rook, never mind. Never mind, I was hitting the rook, yeah. So, I was hitting the rook, I was also hitting that, but I do believe that I might not have taken here if given the opportunity. In fact, probably I wouldn't have taken there. Or maybe I would have, because I mean, I still have that defended, and I can still move the queen away. But the thing is, there was again no need. At this point, there was no need. I'm up a pawn. I'm up a piece. There's no need to go grabbing stuff like crazy. And if, let's say, you were to grab over here, you would always have to consider the implications of a move such as rook pins bishop to queen. Like in this particular case, for instance, if I get another move and I decide that I will grab that, I mean, well, obviously I can grab the rook, but I mean, let's say that, you know, I miss the rook and I decide to grab this pawn over here, and it's my move, of course, then in that case, I should consider the implications of a move like this one. In this case, it doesn't work, because, I mean, it wouldn't even work in that situation. Hypothetical where it's my move, because I take here, goes here, and I can even move my queen away somewhere, and this is still defended by the knight, and then I can move the bishop away. But otherwise, like, I mean, if the knight weren't here, if takes here, then I'm in serious trouble. I mean, I probably would go like over there and still be okay, or over here, but the thing is, there's no need, because afterwards there can be something like that. I mean, in case you were wondering, like exploiting the pin. But it's very hypothetical. I mean, this is not the situation where that would happen. I'm just telling you so that if you're a beginner player, you know what things to watch out for when you're playing. Like these are things that this opponent, for instance, certainly would miss. I mean, they definitely missed a lot of stuff here, like the rook hanging in the corner. Of course, it's really hard to play when you're already down a piece. At this point, they were already down a piece. It's really hard to play because you play already with the mindset of defeat, probably. Like, I mean, I know that happens. It has happened to me several times. Now my opponent played this move intending to trade knight and bishop, potentially. But that was also a further blunder in their position. I mean, of course, at this point, they don't have much to do. This knight, by the way, had no squares. Like, it had absolutely nowhere to go thanks to this pawn over here from earlier. So yeah, getting a pawn to this square was very powerful. Like, this is removing everything from this knight, basically. I mean, any forward movement. And but my opponent played this with the idea probably of trading this for that. And trading is something you shouldn't do when you're down material. But maybe they thought, well, this knight, I can't do anything with it anyway. This bishop is a lot more active on this diagonal. So maybe I just get this trade anyway. And now the thing is, they overlooked the fact that after pawn takes knight, then pawn hits queen. Therefore, you cannot grab this bishop. Now, at this point, they noticed, and so they took back here. I moved the bishop. I moved it over there because I wanted to have control over this square. That looked nice because now the king has no moves, which is usually a good thing if you can condition your opponent's pieces to stay in place. And okay, now my bishop got hit. I could have defended a lot of different ways, but I chose this one because when you're up material, you may have heard this before, you usually want to simplify. So I pinned the bishop to the king. Now this trade is just going to happen. And when it happened, I hadn't even taken a look at the fact that if it happened, then I would be checking again. And my opponent is actually fortunate that they can at least interpose the queen, because otherwise this would simply be checkmate if it weren't for that. So they interpose the queen. Now, of course, I want to trade queens. Like, of course, if you're up a piece, you want to trade queens, because queens are the most powerful pieces, and they are the ones that are more likely to help the opponent with a comeback. Like, let's say your opponent is down a minor piece, down a heavy piece, down a rook. Now, the thing is, the opponent with the queen can still try to create a mate threat very easily. Like, I mean, any beginner can create a mate threat with a queen. So trading the queens is fantastic. Like, now my opponent only has a rook and, a few pawns left. And I have the same number of pawns, so they are just absolutely doomed here. I went for trades. Again, I could have gone for this, grabbing this pawn, but why go there when you can just... you can just go for, simple chess. So here my idea after my opponent did well here in avoiding a trade. Of course, at this point, anything loses. Like, I mean, this position, I wouldn't lose it against Magnus Carlsen. It's just, completely lost. But I mean, my opponent did well in at least keeping the rooks on the board. I mean, the rook on the board, because if they trade, then that's even worse for them. So I intended to double up here, with which I did later. Intention, I mean, I'm already cutting this king off a lot. I wanted to either get the trade of rooks or get a mate, and probably I would get the trade of rooks. But something like goes over here, goes over there, then if king decides to go forward here, then that's just mate after I go here, because there's a pawn there. And if after this the king goes back instead of going, let's say, here, then in that case, if I have the battery here, I can just pin this rook and force a trade where, again, that's just I get rid of the last remaining piece of the opponent. That's a very easy way to win. Now he attacked my knight. I decided to keep the knight alive, because why not? I mean, I could have just blunder, then I mean, give him back the knight. It wouldn't even be a blunder at this point. I mean, not one that causes like a substantial change in the position. Like I could just give back this knight and absolutely no worries because I'm up so much material. But I mean, why would I do that anyway? So I decided to keep my knight. Sometimes you want to actually give back some pieces if you notice that you have way too much material and your opponent doesn't have any pieces left, for instance, and you are more worried about a stalemate than about anything else. You might give back some pieces to make things simpler for you. But I mean, it could be something to consider. I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying, practically speaking, it may be a good idea in some cases. In this case, I prefer to keep the knight. I thought that maybe I would, find some check towards this king that looks about to be mated. And so I thought maybe, if I have that extra power, I could find a fancy mate. Not that it was necessary, mind you, but it could happen. So, okay, my opponent did the right thing by going over here. Again, if the opponent goes back, then at the very least, I trade the rooks immediately. But at the very least, and if the opponent goes over here, then he simply gets mated because there's his pawn over here. So that would be simply checkmate. Now I grab this pawn, I bring the knight in. I wasn't exactly sure how I would continue here. I didn't take too much time thinking about it. I knew that this king was about to get mated in one way or another, but I still hadn't decided how. It's never a good idea to a bad idea to. It's never a bad idea. It's always a good idea to bring another piece to the attack against the king when what you want is to deliver checkmate. Well, unless you're getting into a stalemate. So here again, like I said, there are pawns on the board. There's still a rook. There's no stalemate. So my opponent went where I could fork king and rook. Perhaps they did this on purpose so that they potentially can get a stalemate. At this point, that would be a smart thing to do because obviously they are not coming back from this. So their best bet is that they get a stalemate. So, the king looks very, very cut off here. If I'm not careful, after they manage to trade these pawns off, there may be some stalemate. So they give me the rook. And now, after this, they are trying to get rid of all the pawns so that potentially they would reach a position where a stalemate would be possible. I went over here with the intention of bringing the bishop and starting, the final attack on the king. Now, I didn't allow my opponent to go forward here. Of course, I could allow the capture of this pawn. I could even allow a promotion as long as I have the rook over there. Or that I'm mating the king in the next few moves. But I mean, why do that? Practical play, just trade the pawns. There's no stalemate yet. First you have to check that there's no stalemate, because now stalemate would be likely, especially after I pin this pawn. After I move over here, this pawn would be pinned to the king, therefore it wouldn't move. And so, gotta be careful. But in this case, there's always this and that, so no worries. And also that for the time being. But I intended to go over here, taking away that square. Now, king went over there. I went over here, taking away this square, because I didn't want the king to start walking away from the mating net that I was creating. So now the king has to go here and here, only two moves that he has. And here I had already decided how I was going to mate the king. It was going to be after this. I was going to take here, protected by the rook. This is covered. This is covered. Therefore, the king has to go here. And after this, protected by the king, that is simply over. So that's what happened. And that's how I checkmated my opponent. I think overall a very clean game. Okay, so now let's look for another game. Let's start a new one. Maybe I should check this with the engine first. Let's evaluate to see if I missed something. Let's first check a little bit. If I missed here on Endgame.ai, you can also turn on the engine. They use Stockfish 16. So I want to see if at any point I missed something big. I don't think so. Okay, here. Okay, I played the... Wait, no, d5. d5 was better than what I played. I still didn't drop so much advantage, but I dropped like 0.4 or something. Like not a super big deal, but apparently d5 here was the way to go. Okay, both captures were okay, so I was right in thinking about that also, and I took the best way and that position. Okay, this was a bad move also by the opponent, but at this point they were pretty much lost, and I replied in the appropriate fashion. Now here, of course, queen c4 was really good. Also, I could have started with one of the rooks over here, hitting the queen first. That would have also worked, but this move as good as the others, basically, that punished this. Again, he had to go to 95, so as I get a pawn over there. But here I just get the knight, so my advantage increases significantly. And yeah, from here on out, I suppose I did everything very well, because I mean, frankly, this position is not particularly challenging. Yeah, rook e7 check right away apparently was a better method of converting, but I mean, all roads lead to Rome, as they say, so this is just, yeah, no point in really evaluating much further. So here I had knight f5 was mate in 3. Also g4 was mate in 4. I mean, I thought about this move at some point during the mating sequence, but I believe what I played was good enough. I played knight f7, which is mate in 6. So if you go knight f5, then I mean they have to take. Otherwise, if they go over here, then that's just mate in 1 after this, because the knight covers here and here. But oh wait, it's not. Yeah, I think it's like that. It says oh rook h7 also, but I believe the pawn mate also works. Yeah, pawn mate better. I mean they're both mate, and also this is mate. Bishop f3 is also mate. Okay, so yeah, I mean if I so they have to take over here, and after that you go here with the other rook, and then after this you have that. Let's just checkmate. No wait, what am I saying? No, because the king would go. Wait a second. Ah yeah, because I mean the king is still here. He can't teleport over here. So yeah, this is mate. So I had that faster one, but again, all roads lead to Rome, and can't go wrong with capturing the last piece of the opponent. So yeah. Anyway, let's start a new game. Let's see what we face now. Like still the site hasn't found out really my rating, so I don't know who they are going to pair me with. Oh, another Pirc defense. This is interesting. I mean, we're getting the same thing, the exact same position we just had. I mean, we had in the previous game, not just because I mean I took a break in between. But okay, so bishop e2 is what I played before. I don't see why not doing it here. I'm going to play it again. I mean, it worked before. Why not? Now I think I'll castle. Okay, he intends to fianchetto over here naturally. Now, I do believe maybe we could strike in the center right away. Maybe we could also play here. I'll play here because I want to go there, but okay, naturally he goes for that. I could just push here. I don't see a reason not to, honestly. Let me see. Let me think about it. I could also go here, but that allows this knight to jump in, so I don't like that too much. However, if I go here, that may be much better. I'm going to go here. I don't see a reason not to. And I think now the question is, do I take like this or do I take like that? Like that seems more to the point, to be honest. Because again, keeps this in one island. So I kind of like that. Okay, that bonders a knight. Straight up. I didn't expect him to do that. I thought he would retreat the knight, but not just give me the free piece. But alright. Well, you don't hear me complaining about it. Now he's trying to put pressure on it, but I mean, I'm not oblivious to that. I'm just going to naturally defend by going over here and just trading queens, potentially. So I go over here. No reason not to. Oh, he resigned? Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not surprised he was down a piece, but still, like, if you're a beginner and in general, just because you're down a minor piece, you shouldn't resign. I mean, I still had to think here. Like, I mean, I was going to go here if you were wondering. I mean, but first I was evaluating my options. But I was going to go over here. Then after this trade or this trade over here, like, I mean, it was going to be just simply completely fine. But still, like, I mean, there was a game to be played still. I'll evaluate directly with the engine this time because, well, first let me look at it a little bit. But I mean, I don't quite remember the previous game. I believe it didn't continue like this. I think this is already probably different from the previous game. This definitely different. The previous game didn't continue like that. That's a difference. Like in the previous game, the opponent developed here, and obviously the knight wasn't there. Because otherwise, sorry, they wouldn't be able to go there. So in this game, they went for this, which was an interesting attempt. The reason I went for this move, I didn't want to stay and explain too much, is because it sounded to be a great moment to do the pawn break. Like, I mean, you want to strike in the center at some point, like especially in these openings. It's very classic to strike in the center with an e5 or d5. And right now it seemed like the perfect moment. You know, I had these pawns over here. I had this under attack, so it was either I push or I have to defend this somehow with something like a bishop d3, for instance. And I didn't want to go all passive like that. I wanted to play active moves. Here, you know, after the trade, then I have this chain and I'm kicking this knight, which has to spend a move retreating, and then... So instead of me spending a move defending my pawn, I make him spend a move moving the knight. I mean, he had to go over here. That was the... Or over there. Even over there was okay, because that square only attacked once, and that would have been a good move too, probably. But yeah, I mean, definitely not here. I mean, definitely not here. I mean, yeah, definitely here. Definitely here or here. Probably here better, actually. Probably here better, actually. Although I'm not sure if I move the knight somewhere, if he can... I mean, I don't have anywhere to move the knight anyway, so... and if I move somewhere, then he can land over here, which is dreadful. So, actually, yeah, here, probably the best move, I think. I'll check that with the engine in a bit. So, well, here just plunders a pawn, I mean, a piece, and yeah. Now, even though he tried to see if he could, you know, get me to move very fast and maybe not notice that this was attacked twice. I mean, I noticed right away what he was doing. Then I was thinking what was the best course of action. If to try and, you know, defend the knight a little bit over there, even though it would get kicked by a pawn afterwards. But I mean, it can be useful sometimes to try and make your opponent push a pawn. Or just retreat, but I was leaning towards retreating in the end, and I was just going to go here, play very simple. But yeah, another advantage of this is well, the same as in the other game. You're grabbing space, and you have one pawn island, and it solves the situation in the center. Like, I mean, at the end also it hinders the power of this fianchetto bishop, although it does make this one very powerful. But I mean, this diagonal was pretty well covered over there with the knight, so I don't think it was a big deal. Let's see what the computer thinks about my moves here. So here it already wanted e5. Not really surprised. Here also wanted e5 instead of this. I played here because I wanted to develop with bishop e3, but I didn't want this coming. So that's why I played that. And now e5 is good, but not as good as it was a couple of moves ago. But it still is the top engine move, so I played it at the right time. I did the right thing. Bishop d3 was much worse. Still with equality basically, but much worse. Queen d3 was actually second best after e5. So I played the right move here. I did the right thing. Now fe5 apparently better than d5 in this particular case. I will not like go into, oh no, actually they're about equal if you let the computer run a little bit further. So yeah, knight d4 was actually basically the only move here. So knight d4 was basically the only attempt not to be extremely worse. But yeah, I mean, this just blunders a piece. Knight d4, then I take, they take with a bishop, and yeah, I mean, still a game of chess, of course. I mean, I have a space advantage, but I mean, so what? Don't have much else apart from that. Of course, after this, they are completely lost. And knight c3 was actually the best move. Knight c3 was actually the best move. I want to see if c4 was playable here. I do believe it was playable. Yeah, c4 was also okay. I mean, I was going to play knight c3 in all likelihood, but I did consider also that move. Okay, so let's go for another one. We have a game against Jake Horn. This guy is higher rated than the other guys. Also, like, his rating is not there yet. Like, they still don't know it. I wonder if I'll play an Alapin against the Sicilian, or if I will play open. Let's play an open Sicilian and see what he's got. I don't really know theory, like I say, and they always tell you that, you know, there's a lot of theory in the open Sicilian. Maybe we're headed towards an Najdorf if you already played d6. I mean, there are other moves to play, but... Oh, okay, he's going to play a dragon, actually. Going over here. So, alright. I can go bishop e2 and intending to go bishop e3 afterwards. I can go f3. I don't know. I'll think about it. But I will go bishop e3 after he fianchettos over there, so they have this sufficiently defended probably. Actually, I can castle here. Good castle. I'm going to go here though. I will keep the option of castling queenside with a classic attack against the kingside there. I'll keep that. Oh, here I can play g4 right away. It's kind of nice. I think I may play g4 right away because I have that sufficiently supported. So I can start like this. I wonder if I should. Probably is a good move. I also wonder if I should just castle normally and not play into the classic, you know, pawn storm on the king side, and instead play something little more casual, if you will, because probably if he plays the dragon, he's very used to that. Like, that must be like what he faces all the time. He might play here at some point. Oh, if he plays here, I have this. Hitting that. Which is kind of good. I wonder if I should go here. Like, this is a very big decision moment where I have to choose if I want to, like, castle short, I want to go for this other setup, or I want to go for this and basically go for the setup where I'm going to go here, but start like this. I don't know if that's even, you know, a thing, but let's have some fun. Let's go g4 and let's see what happens. I don't know the theory again, so I mean, this just looks good because I mean, I know that the plan of going here is a usual one, and in this particular position it seems like I can just start with g4 because I have my queen still here. So I may be able to just kick this knight right away or something. I'll see what happens. If he kicks me with this one, I intended to go over here hitting that. That's what I intended. So I don't think he's going to go there because, I mean, this seems like a decent move. He might go here, for instance, putting some pressure over there. Not too concerned about it. Although in that case, I have to be careful about some discovery where this is hit twice and then I can't use my queen to overprotect that one. So my queen would be overloaded in that case. And so I have to be careful about that. Let's see what Jacorn is going to do in this position. You also have to think, I mean, during your opponent's time, you should be thinking. You shouldn't be relaxing, especially when you're down in the clock like me. I'm thinking, how am I going to continue? If H4... F4. I mean, at this point, it's pretty obvious that I'm not going to castle kingside. So something like F3 or F4 here or something is going to have to happen. Okay, he went over there. That's an interesting move. Interesting move. I wonder if I will go here. Like, I mean, that's pinning this knight. So this is now a thing. If I go over here, then wherever he goes with this knight, this is no longer defended. So I could go over there. But that undefends this. So probably I should play F3 now. I think F3 might be okay. 3 might be okay. Is there anything bad about playing F3? Can he go somewhere? And he can go to the mill here. Could also just play Bishop D3. No, Bishop D3 blunders this pawn, never mind. I'll play F3. I'll play F3. Support this, support that. It's looking a little bit suspicious though. It's looking a little bit weird. And probably he's going to go here. I think I already messed up. And it's kind of easy to mess up when you're playing. That's why they don't recommend playing the open Sicilian. If you're a beginner or intermediate level player, because if you don't know the theory, then you're in for a lot of trouble. And I don't know the theory, so I'm playing right into my opponent's hands, probably. But I mean, at the same time, you have to be aware of the fact that if your opponent is around the same level as me, as you, I don't know if this is the case. I mean, he might be higher rated. Again, his rating is not really established in the site. Neither is mine. But I mean, if he were about the same strength as me, then, I mean, provided that he also doesn't know the theory, then you may be sort of on equal terms. But still, like, it's pretty hard to deal with an open Sicilian if you don't know any theory, like with the white pieces. Well, with the black pieces also. If your opponent knows something that you don't, then you may be in some trouble. If both don't know any of the theory, then, you know, it may be very chaotic and fun. So, which is what I was basically hoping for here. Like, to get some chaotic position that I would handle better than my opponent. So good news is that I'm not down in the clock anymore. He challenges my knight over there. Now that I have this protected, I can perfectly go here. I'm going to go because I have to play somewhat fast. I'm going to go here. I'm not going to castle kingside, obviously. So, well, I don't know, honestly. Because my opponent seems to be piling up some pressure over here, so maybe they are going to try to start something on the queen side. If they put all their cards on the queen side, I may just castle kingside. Even though I push the pawns here, but I mean, if you're going to put all your forces towards attacking me over here, then I might just, you know, might just go for that. I probably will go for this, I think. Okay. Takes over here. Obviously, you have to take with a bishop. If I take with a queen, then there are discoveries with a knight. Such as, I don't know, this one or something. Okay, that's a strange looking move, if I may say so. Because now this pawn is weak. I can go back. I can... Oh, okay. He's plundering the pawn. Now, do I have to... I mean, can I really take that pawn is the question. I do believe I can, but I have to think about it. Yeah, I think I can. I mean, if he attacks me with a rook, then I offer a trade of queens immediately. Oh, well, actually, I can... Oh, no, I can't take that pawn because it's protected. Never mind. Yeah, I can offer a trade of queens if he attacks me there. So I'm just going to do that, yeah. Don't see any reason not to, honestly. Going to go here. I think he's going to try to attack me with one of the rooks, not realizing that I can just offer a trade of queens and basically force a trade of queens. I mean, either he trades the queens or he allows me to have a... another pawn. So going to pre-move this because I do believe that he's going to go for the trade. Doesn't have many other options. I mean, he can have the trade on his own terms if his terms are different, but there wouldn't be much. I don't think other terms would be better for him. Okay, I can just go back here and I can defend these diagonals from the bishop. Yeah, my opponent didn't do very well here. I'm going to probably play here and then bring the other rook. Is he intending to sack over there? He could be. I don't know. Strange. Going to go here and bring the... I'm checking that I'm not blundering anything. Now I'm going to go over here and then bring this this rook. Sometimes you don't castle. Sometimes you just move the king and connect the rooks like that. I mean, here we're basically in almost in an endgame. Not really an endgame because I mean there's still. I believe he wants to put more pressure on this knight. It's almost an endgame. Not quite, but almost. Going to go over here potentially. I think he wants to attack this pawn several times. I mean this knight several times. Maybe I should go over here so that I can just move the knight. Maybe. Could go for that. Definitely could go for that. If I go over here, I can just move the knight simply. Like here, something. Yeah, I think I may just do that. Other options, what I was intending to do originally was go over here. But that will leave this pawn a little bit weak. So... what about kicking that knight? Give me a second. If I kick this knight, where does it go? Well, it goes here, so I don't want that. I'll go here. This is safe. This is very safe. Like, obviously, he doesn't want to use the rook over there. He wants to go over here, and then I will just move the knight. By the way, you should always anticipate what your opponent is about to do. Always try to anticipate. And here, if I get hit, if my knight gets hit, I'm not going to move the knight forward, because if I move forward, then my knight is going to get hit again. And okay, well, he wants the trade of dark squared bishops, which I will happily oblige with. Now, how should I oblige with it? I believe I can oblige with it by just simply maybe taking... Do I take? Yeah. Let's take, otherwise he takes here, so I'm going to just take it. Now, after that, I think I might just, first of all, go here. Then I'm going to move this knight, which was the intention when I put the bishop here. I'm going to move this knight, and then I'm going to push this pawn, so this pawn is no longer, you know, I don't need the protection of the rook against that pawn anymore. And then I can start using both rooks. So that's what I intend to do. Although I shouldn't have my pawns on light squares, to be honest. I have a dark square, light squared bishop, so I shouldn't have my pawns there, but I still have a knight though. So my dark squares are not really in trouble. Okay, I'm going to move this. I think over here is fine. I just want to unpin my pieces so that I mean, I don't want this pawn to be tied to the protection of the knight. That's why I'm doing this. Now this, by the way, I don't need to close it like that. I can go like here. That also solves the problem. I may go over here, and then I also get to use a rook. Now if I kick this knight, then the knight has to go backwards over there. Maybe a good idea. I'm going to go here. Then I'm going to go there. I shouldn't talk too much because frankly I don't have too much time. Now if I go here and takes, I take, hit the bishop. I think that's a good idea. Because he doesn't have a good square for the bishop. He doesn't have any square for the bishop where I can't just trade it off. So I can go for a trade like over here. But then I just probably push him to do the trade. Only up a pawn here. Okay, he went over here. If I go there, I mean he can take my bishop here, which is rather annoying. But I think I have no choice. I have no choice but to allow that. But I can take here. Wait a second. You get he gets a bishop, but I get a pawn for free. I mean, he gets a bishop pair is what I mean. I mean, a bishop pair, having a bishop versus not having a bishop. That's what I meant. There we go. Obviously take like this because otherwise well, no, I actually wasn't blundering this pawn. I should have taken with the rook. I was thinking that maybe I was blundering that pawn, but I wasn't really. Okay. Wants to go for that. I can defend like this. No, I can't defend like this because there's that. I have to push over here, yeah. I have to push over here. Now I will probably move this. Oh, shoot. There's bishop goes over here, yeah. I have to defend like this. Now I lose this one. Okay, I'm playing a little bit like pretty badly in this scenario, but okay. Let me see. So I have this. No, I don't have that because there's this is really annoying. Really annoying. Really annoying. It's going to check me over here probably. If he checks me over there, he loses this, so I can actually just move over there and be okay, even though the knight will be pinned again. So, alright, well. Oh, okay, now I have to be careful. Ay. My god, this guy, how does he play really horrible first and blunder a pawn and then he plays like this? Okay, I lost. Like, I mean, lost on time, but I was losing on the board too, I'm sure. Let me see. Yeah, completely lost. Like, when did I start losing? When I got low on time and I blundered right about here. Yeah, here is where I blundered. I had to play King E3. Like, I played here thinking that was okay, blocking this, and I didn't see that they were going to put pressure immediately on the pinned piece, and I had to unpin right away and defend this at the same time, because later I allowed the other rook to infiltrate by defending this, which I had to. I mean, I had to defend that. That was more important. But then this infiltration only move. But yeah, opponent found it, so very, very bad, very bad, very bad. I was doing well until I wasn't. Ugh. I'm going to ask for a rematch. Let's see if my opponent plays a rematch. He might play one. I don't know. Ah, that was terrible. I don't really need to analyze further for my loss. I mean, when it comes to my loss, I don't need to analyze further of that, honestly, because I already know that's the moment where I lost. Like before that moment, I was doing completely fine. Okay, he doesn't want to rematch. I mean, he was getting cooked until he wasn't, or he actually, I should say, he was like on the worst side. Then I was the one getting cooked. Like I absolutely got cooked there. Okay, I'll play another one. So I mean, the opening wasn't what got me there, even though I didn't know. Again, I didn't know the theory, but it wasn't the opening what got me. It was something else. Yeah. It was actually when I was low on time, like time pressure, basically. I wish they had another time control that's not 10-0 for like the default time controls on this site. Because I mean, nobody's going to pick the custom time controls, especially on a new website. Like if I try to pick something that has an increment, something longer than this, nobody's going to play a game. I mean, the platform is new. Okay, there we go. I am losing all my pieces, so I'm losing all my pieces is the name of my opponent. It would be funny, except I just lost the game, so it's not funny. D6, let's see what happens. So I'm playing a Sicilian here, by the way. Still completely fuming from the previous game, to be honest. Completely fuming. Now what? Could go knight c6. Sounds like a good idea, to be honest. Knight c6 with maybe in the future I will have this move hitting this bishop. Could be nice. I'll play bishop e7, trying to just castle simply. Like the problem once you start messing up is that you tend to mess up more and more after that. Like once you get you're on tilt for one game, then it's really hard to get over the tilt and play better in the next few games. Okay, so now the bishop can't move much, so I could go over here and win this pawn, or the bishop pair. It's either or, because before if I had gone here, then the bishop could have gone there, and then I'm not getting like anything. Well, actually, yeah, I'm still getting the pawn. What am I saying? But yeah, okay. So he really wants to give up the bishop pair. That's okay, and I'm very happy about having the bishop pair, to be honest. Going to potentially block over here, but my intention is not just playing this move. My intention is bringing either here pressure or here a skewer. But well, pressure here it is, I guess, because my opponent is about to and they can defend by moving this knight probably, or bringing this one. I mean, they probably will bring this one because it's the one that's undeveloped. But still, like, there's some pressure over there. Well, they can go over here as well. I go there. I'm going to try to put some pressure on this, potentially like this. Probably they will bring another rook as well into the fray, I think. Probably. They want to land this knight over here, potentially. I think I will go over there, so that I have some pressure on this. I don't really want to make this trade immediately unless he goes for it. But I mean, I'm not too keen on like pushing the bishop into doing that, because then this knight will land over here, which is what he's going to do now. But then I'll take with the bishop, and he'll have to take with his pawn potentially. And obviously, I'm going to take here. He's going to take with his pawn. If he doesn't take with his pawn, I'm super surprised, because, well, and now I can just get a trade of queens potentially and head into an endgame where I have the bishop. Like, I mean, at least I have a bishop versus a knight. I mean, the position is rather closed here, though, so my bishop is not particularly impressive, but it's still a bishop. Later. In a bit. So, okay. He's thinking about it, but I mean, he doesn't have many options, really. Or maybe he does. Okay, so I'll keep pushing for that trade. Go over here. Like, I mean, if he trades like this, he damages his structure, so not a super big deal, but I mean, heading into an endgame, it is kind of not great, I think. I mean, could argue that this structure is not that bad, especially considering that these two pawns would be in front of my pawn and this completely locked. So it's not like I would have, those two isolated pawns in an open file to attack or something. I mean, on a semi-open file. But I do believe he's going to trade there. I don't think he's going to go for anything else. Like, I mean, maybe he will go like here. Then I can continue pursuing him for a trade. To be honest. Okay, well, huh? Oh, I can take. I can take here. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so now potentially, if I go like here, then he can jump somewhere with the knight where I will have to. But I mean, he doesn't have a discovery that wins something. He can like go over here or something, and I will not take the knight. I will just move back with the bishop. Doesn't have much else than that. So I may actually go for that, I guess. I think I will go for that. I will go here and here. Although I'm not sure if I should do that, because honestly, like I shouldn't keep my like that. That will take a. Why am I keeping? I mean, why am I allowing my opponents to still put pressure on my position like this? Maybe go over here. And if go over here, then a defense over there. If takes over there, takes, goes over here, can defend like this. Don't really think I want that. So potentially here. Could also go here. No, here would allow. Oh, can also go here. What am I saying? Can go here, actually. Oh, but then he will double up here. He will double up, certainly. So maybe I should do this and that. It is dangerous. But might actually work, who knows. Thinking. Like, I don't know why these guys come up with like decent plans. I have no idea. Like, I mean, I wouldn't expect this honestly from, you know, the lowest level of play that you're facing on the platform. But again, I did say that the platform probably had some decent players. If I go over here, then I know what he's going to do. After this, he's going to do this, pretty much forcing me to trade over there or move like over here. Problem is, if I move over here, there's a fork. So I think I have to take, yeah. Have to go over here naturally, and then have to deal with the consequences of my actions. He's going to push this pawn over here. I should have pushed here. I should have pushed here first. Pushing here first would have been a good idea. Let me think about it. If I go here and take here, I'll still go there, which is not really nice. I think I'm going to go like maybe there. Oh, there I can't go. Never mind. There's a knight. Maybe here. What about here? Yeah, I have to move fast. Now that's the problem. I have to move fast. This knight cannot attack me yet, so I can just go over here. Knight may go over there with the intention of going here. Could be something. Let's go there. Now if he takes over there, I take here. Takes there, I go here. Prevent that jump. Now the knight will never get here. So the knight will not infiltrate my position, which it intended to do over there. So now, wants to go over there. I can go simply here. I can also go here, which is nice. I think I might go there. No, but the knight would hit that from here. So yeah, knight would hit that from here. So probably not a good idea. Yeah, now he managed to make the knight more powerful than my thingy, definitely. So I think I'll go over there, keep this pawn blocked. My rook is completely useless, but I mean my bishop is completely useless, but my rook might not be useless. Now I'll try to use my rook to my advantage. Okay, if he wants to trade the knight for the bishop, so be it. He wants to make that trade. I mean, my bishop is really terrible, so if he wants to make that trade, so be it. I try to go over here, for instance. It's kind of annoying. In fact, this and this, doesn't that just win? Maybe it does win. Yeah, probably does. Here hitting this one and then hit the other one. Yeah, that wins. So well, what can you do? Like, I mean, Two tough moves in tough games in a row. Over there, I don't know what he is intending to do next, but probably nothing good to me. I mean, I'm completely dead lost here. That's just a fact. Completely lost. Now he brings the, like, it's just mind-boggling. Like, the stuff that these guys are finding is just mind-boggling. Yeah, we'll go here, here, and here and try to free my bishop. I don't know if I have anything else to do, so I'll just do that. I'll try to go here and then free my bishop. Like, but yeah, I've been like tied during the whole length of this game. I don't know what's I don't know if my opponents are really strong, I'm playing really bad, or something else. I don't know. Like, both options seem plausible. If I go like, yeah, I don't have anything. Really don't have anything. Now I'll go here and here. I have 25 seconds. I'm going to lose this game anyway. Oh, I can't go here because the king is tied to that, so that happens. That also happens. I'm going to just dance back and forth, I think, and wait for my opponent to just exert his vengeance. But it's just crazy. Like, I mean, the level in this platform is just crazy. Like, if they are not going to have like beginner level here, I don't think the pool is going to succeed just because of lack of players. Just you know, it's no fun if you're playing this kind of a position all the time. Like, I mean, I don't know if I ever had a chance this whole game to actually win the game. And obviously I did something completely wrong. Okay, so now I'm completely tied. I mean, this is just Zugzwang. I should just probably resign. Because this is going to fall or this is going to fall. I mean, I don't have a choice. So yeah, let me check. I mean, my opponent's obviously a complete beast. I don't know. I was playing against Magnus or something. Yeah, here I had the highest advantage I probably had the entire game was 0.5, 0.6 in my favor, which means absolutely nothing. Then the rest of the game, I mean, they were just crushing, just absolutely crushing, weren't they? Yeah, I mean, for a moment here they played something inaccurate, apparently. Here this wasn't too good. Here that was inaccurate, apparently. And yeah, taking with the bishop was correct. No, I got too desperate pursuing this queen trade. Here it says the advantage for white is big, and it's bigger after I go for this. And here I had no choice but to take, so I was right on that. Then I blundered immediately with this. I had to play b5. Remember I said afterwards I should have played b5? I should have played b5, stopping the pawn from coming forward. That was the only move in this position. So, well, here my opponent, of course, found absolutely everything they had to find. And then I just got obliterated. Like, I mean, just nothing to do. I mean, completely passive position. And just absolutely dead. So, okay, I try to play a new one, but honestly, like, I don't know, what can you do? Like, I mean, my opponents are playing really well. So I'm playing against Darko, who's apparently estimated to be 1400, so probably he's having the same trouble as me. He's playing here and he's He's just facing these guys that are like super high rated, probably somewhere else, and they come here to just blow off the board everyone else. Like, okay, e5 is good here. This is what Karpov used to play, I think, against the Sicilian. Against the Najdorf. Like, this is the Najdorf, in case you guys were wondering. Okay, now I'm out of book officially. I believe bishop e6 is like the scheme of development usually in these kinds of positions. Bishop e6, bishop e7. I'll start with bishop e6. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Knight b7, knight to c5, maybe. I don't know. I think I'll just play this right away. If the knight goes over here, then what the heck? Oh, he wants to land here. Well, I'll just kick you so that you go back to where you came from. Like, I mean, obviously now he's preventing me from rerouting again, but now, not anymore. I'm going to place this rook over here, so we have some nice pressure against that knight. I may even sack in the future. Now going knight c5 wouldn't be terrible, but honestly, this bishop is not like particularly threatening, and my knight has some prospects. Wait a second, I can win a pawn here. No, I can't win a pawn because I don't have this defended. Let's get the two bishops. Let's get the two bishops. And I probably will take with... no, I have to take with here this way because otherwise I'm blundering this pawn. Never mind. I have to take with a rook. I was going to say that I would take with a pawn if I mean if I could do that I would love to, but apparently I mean I can't. Okay, so now if I go for this, like that's just a free pawn, isn't it? I kind of like that one. I'm going to just take the free pawn there. With this knight, by the way, because if I take with this knight, then I'm freeing this for them. This knight is shielding this bishop right now. If they try to kick this... okay, went over here, interesting. Like, after I take here, I'm actually attacking that knight. I go here, I think. And I kind of like that, putting some pressure on it. Okay, he wants to put pressure on this one potentially. I can go here, he can go there. I can also go like here. I don't wanna. I can also go like here. Because I mean here wouldn't do much because honestly like then I just get support and then I'm doing nothing. I also have this. I'm going to go here, which defends my knight at the same time. So if I defend this and I don't have to keep defending one piece, the other piece, and just reacting forever, I will defend both things at once. Because I mean this knight is going to go under attack. Oh, okay. Well, now he's basically forcing my hand. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Yeah, I should have foreseen that move. I mean, I can still... maybe I can defend like this. This. Oh, no, because actually... never mind. I can go here, though. I can go here. Oh, he can take there. Never mind. Oh. I realized one pin and then forget about the pin instantly. Okay, he could have actually taken there. So now he's the only reason he didn't take. Wait a second, I can pin that. Yeah, not useful. Not useful at all. I'm just doing nonsense now. Do I give the? Okay, don't let one blunder follow the other. I'll try not to let one blunder follow the other. I go here. Any knight move is a discovery on the rook, but I mean I do have some attack over there, so if the knight goes like over here, yeah, okay, feel free to. Okay, it goes over there, but that doesn't work because I just take over here to. Two pieces are actually worth better than a rook in general. He may go here with a check, which is an annoying check, I have to say. In that case, I have to go up here. I'll go back here, block that. Okay, he goes there. Man, how do they find these moves? Like, literally, how do they find all these moves? It's crazy. Like, I mean, 1 second they are playing, like, really dreadful. And then the next, they are, oh. And actually, that's protected by the rook, man. What are you doing, man? Okay. It's just incredible, like... Truly incredible, like, magnificent. Magnificent stuff. Oh, wait a second. If I kick him out of here, what happens? I do that. I'll probably go like here or something. Oh, he goes there. Okay. Okay, that's where you want to go. Just like utterly. Oh wait, he went over there. That's just free piece. Okay, free piece finally. Okay. It's so flustered that I forget about it. Okay, he's hitting this because this pinned. But I can go over here. In fact, I can probably go. Yeah, over here seems nice, honestly. Over here. Wait a second. I have to keep protecting this. Over there. Probably go like here, here or something. Or maybe here, I don't know. Go there. Okay. Wants to keep attacking and attacking, huh? If I go here, he may go there. Oh, if I go here, actually he has this. Never mind. So probably. Over here. If I go here, he will go there naturally, trying to still attack me there. Then I go here, then he goes here. No, I have to go here. I go here, he goes there, I go here. I still defend that. Actually, I can go here. overly protecting that. I can go here. He will go here, certainly. Now we'll go somewhere like here, I think. Is defended sufficiently. This pawn is a thing. If I go all the way here, that is a thing. Where does he intend to go? Over here potentially. Okay. I can go over there then. There we go. I go here or something. After which, I guess I go here. And I hope that my opponent isn't another Magnus, like every single guy that you meet on this site, because apparently they are all like super big, big stars. I'm going to go over here, hitting that rook over there. Seems like the way to go, to be honest. Now I can bring another piece, potentially. Okay. So now you go over there. All right. If I go here, I also have this. Let's go over there. Then I'm going to offer a trade of queens there. Potentially. Oh wait, actually I can start pushing this. I may just push this, honestly. I mean, I really... No, I will go here. I'll offer the trade there. Yeah. Where is he intending to go? I'm not sure. He intends to go over there with a check. If he goes over here with a check, I block like this. Alright. He can win this pawn though. But not more than that. Oh shoot. I missed one important detail. I lose a rook to that. Oh my god. How could I be so... How could I be so... Oh, my god. Okay. Let's go over there. Let's try to, you know, hope against hope that we may be able to do something here. Over there, then hope. I can only hope. Go over here. We'll go no. Let's go over there first of all, then here. Go here. I don't know. Trying to think fast. Play faster. I can go here. Fuck. Oh yeah, he has this. Okay. Nice. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. I can go here. He has to give me the... Has to give me the rook. We'll certainly go there. Give me the rook. Then I have 3 pieces against a queen. Technically, this wouldn't be losing. Yeah, man. That was terrible. All sorts of terrible. Obviously, he has to give me that, and of course, he's going to like try his best to scam me because I was completely winning the whole game, but got a little bit of trouble in the end. They can keep checking me forever and then just win on time, which is probably what he's going to try and do. And I lost because I ran out of time. Like, what's the evaluation here? Yeah, this is a draw. Yeah. When was it that I blundered my queen? Oh, it was here, yeah. After this check. After this check, bishop e7, and I was okay. I thought I had tactics to defend. Oh my god. Okay. Like, I'll play again. It's just terrible. This is... Look, I'm 1408. I'm less than the starting rating. Like, just insane, insanely ridiculous, crazy. I'm already playing with the mentality that my opponent is going to crush me all of a sudden. Like, I mean, maybe they are losing the whole game and then they're going to, like, beat me in the end or something. Like, I mean, last game I just blundered a queen, honestly. But, I mean, I had to deal with significant pressure throughout. Like, it wasn't... I'm going to go here, here, and here, I think. Here. Not going to give up the bishop pair. I want to keep my 2 bishops. I'm going to go here. Okay. I can go here or there. I go bishop c2, so I don't have to move the bishop again. Should they go over here? Otherwise, they probably go over here and I have to move the bishop again. Although that wouldn't even be a good move for them. But okay, I'm going to go here and here. Do I intend to do something with that bishop? Okay, I'm not opposed to the idea of opening things up, especially if I'm going to get a bishop. And if I'm going to get the 2 Bs, then might as well open things up. He takes over here. Well, I can take with the queen. I can take with the queen, and if he takes in the middle, I take with the queen again. Don't see the reason not to. I can even like check him over there, which I don't know if it does. Oh, here, this comes with a tempo on this one. Okay, he didn't realize it. So, 3 pieces it is. So this is what I expect from, you know, 1400. Not what I just... I mean, 1400 being 1500 the starting point. Like, I mean, if the starting rating is 1500, then I expect a 1400 to play like this. Okay, so he's threatening to basically go over here, and then mate me or something. I mean, or at the very least get something, so I can't just grab that knight. I have to go like over here, this defense against that threat. I connect the rooks on the side so that also something like this has potential now. And I'm hitting that. So, pretty good prospects for me. Here I can take here twice when a pawn... Oh, actually I can take and just trade over here. I'm up material, so I mean, trading is not a bad idea at all. I'm going to go for trades. Trade. Grab this one, probably hitting another pawn, and yeah. Situation is kind of dire for the opponent. Oh, if I go here and I give them double isolated pawns, that's even... Okay, that's great. It's great for me, even though now I don't have this check, but I mean, I have, you know, like rook attacking several pawns at the same time. Tends to be pretty good. Okay, he wants to like start something over there. I can just take here. He goes to the second, to this rank. I'm going to go here. Threatening discoveries. Let's see, what's the best discovery? It's this one. Yeah, this one is crushing. Look, if I check like this, then he basically has to sack the exchange over there. Either that or he is mated after he has to go here and here. I mean, or interposes the rook, and then I take the rook for free. Well, actually, I would take it like this, and yeah. So this discovery kind of very destructive. He will have to sack the rook over here, but I mean, this is protected, so that's no problem. Okay, he was over there. I can defend this, or I can just take that. Probably leaning towards taking that. Actually, he gets mated if he takes that. If he takes that, he is mated. He will get mated, okay. Alright. So yeah, that's the kind of game that I expect when I'm playing below the starting point. He wants a rematch. Okay, let's try to farm this one and see if I can get at least above the starting point. Okay, so this is a Sicilian controlling the center. Oh, d6, this whole theory. Okay, he was over here. This is called the Canal attack, I believe. But don't quote me on that, just in case. I want the two bishops, so I'll go here. Okay, I'll go here again. And now, am I winning a bishop? I think so. Winning a piece. We should have just taken, I think. There was no other choice. Was there? Here. Now, well, I have to think a little bit about my development eventually. So I'll go over here, I think, and then potentially knight f6. Okay, he gets a big center. Maybe I should have prevented that, but not too worried about it, to be honest. Going to go here. If he decides to like push a pawn over here, then I have a square to go to, so no big deal. I go here because he's actually threatening this pawn. In fact, yeah, well, before he wasn't threatening the pawn because this is a queen, so I mean I would just take. But now he's threatening the pawn, like very, very sneaky by him. He's threatening this pawn because this pawn is pinned to the rook. Now I am pinned. Let's see if he notices that I am pinned. But yeah, very sneaky by him. Very sneaky. I am pinned this one too. I don't want to have any pins on my position. Next, I will probably castle and be a-okay, I think. Okay, he goes over there, so he wants to trade something, some capacity. Can take here with a bishop. Maybe I could take with a pawn too, but the bishop sounds okay. Goes over there. Okay, this is a free bishop over here, or free knight, whichever way you want to see it. I can just take that one too. Like that's no need to rush defending my bishop or something. If I take over here, then takes. Because I mean, this. I think I'm going to take here and go for the trades. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be up against just a rook, so why not? Okay, now he wants to potentially like pin my queen to my king with a rook. So I'm going to go here. Yeah, he wanted to do that because he play. I know, because he played that move even though now it wasn't doing anything. Like now the move wasn't doing anything, but he still played it. Now I can go over here, defend. I want to defend my center pawn still. And then I'm going to go like here, defending my center pawn. Oh, it goes over there. Sneaky. I can push. I can also let him have it. Like if I go over here, I mean, that's what I wanted to do. Why not? Why not do it? I'll just do it. Go over here. I was going to pre-move this, but I mean, that wouldn't be a completely safe pre-move. I mean, it would be okay, but okay, now that allows me to have a pawn for free. Kind of like free stuff. So I'm going to go here, get the pawn. Now I take with a queen or with a pawn. If I take with a pawn, I give him an isolated pawn over there, which I kind of like. But my pawns are connected, which is nice. Going to take here, I guess. This way. Okay, he was there. I can bring my... Well, I can bring my rook over here, basically forcing something. Now let's go here. Let's go here. I want to force a trade, but and still I don't know. Like, okay, well, that's... It's almost asking for it. Yeah, it's almost asking for it. That's a trade. Has to trade. Can do nothing but trade here. Trade. Oh. Goes there. He could actually do something. Let's not trade. Oh, I can go here, threatening mate. And the queen. Wow, that's tough move, man. Will he see it? Will he see it? He saw it. Oh, well. Didn't completely see it. I mean, he probably saw that there was a... Oh, he resigned? Yeah, but I did get to grab that queen, right? Yeah, I did get to grab the queen before he resigned. He noticed after he did this. But I mean, he did see that that was threatening the mate over here and hitting the queen over there. So he was like, I moved my queen where it also defends for mate, but I mean, it doesn't defend the queen. So... But I mean, I don't think there was a good move here, to be honest. Like, yeah, I think he had to play this one probably. But then, no, it loses to this. No, it doesn't lose to this because you just take the knight. But I mean, if he did that, then I guess I could play here and be threatening the... No, never mind. What am I saying? No, if he played... Wait, what did I say that he could play? He could play here. Yeah, I can play here then. I can play here and remove him. Then if he goes like back here, for instance, then in that case, I do have this picking up the queen over there. Or over here. Over here, actually. Like, I mean, the queen would sack itself for 2 pieces. So, yeah. Interesting game. Like, this is what I expect from this level. From this level, I expect that. Like, I wish I had more games like that instead of having games against, I don't know, these guys that are much harder to beat. Well, the other guy I had him beat until when somewhat low on time, I blundered my queen. No, so, well, then I was drawing. I was drawing with 3 minor pieces versus a queen. So I was drawing, but yeah, didn't have time. This Tanner guy, he sounds familiar. Did I face him? If I faced him, he has gone down a lot because I mean, it's now 1383. I can't blame him because I mean, again on this side, like yeah, you can be very low rated and still like. Okay, now I just win a pawn. Like, I mean, because I defend this one, then I have my king safe and everything, so I'm just winning this pawn by doing this and this. I was wondering if there was something with this. I don't think so though. But maybe. Okay, goes over here. I can go there. That's a strange thing by him. Well, I mean, makes sense because he is rated. Okay, now I'm going to go here after their queen. If they take here with a rook, then I take, and they're not in time to take with a knight. I mean, even if they took with a knight, then it wouldn't be particularly impressive. Now, where do I go? Do I go here? I mean, that is protected technically, but I don't know if I want to like risk it so much. Probably will just go back. And nothing wrong with going back, I think. Yeah, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it by grabbing stuff any further, which opens up a rook over here. I don't want to do that. I want to just go back. Just go back and chill out. Go here. Overprotect that one. No, nice that they overprotected it because now it's under attack. I'll develop the bishop first. I was going to go here for trades, but then I realized that my rook didn't have any defense. So now that they connected the rooks, now I would like to go over here and get some trades. But I mean, now it's not even trades. Now I'm putting like insane amounts of pressure on that knight. It's going to be pretty bad for the opponent. Because the knight is pinned to a queen, in case you were wondering. Okay, so this comes with a check. He's going to have to take with a pawn. Now I wonder, is that the best I can do, or can I do something better? Going to go here, rook lift, try to go for mate. This king is kind of cut off. I'm going to rook lift, bring this, and it's going to be tough for the opponent. I think he sees it. Yeah, he does see it. That's kind of smart of him. I'm going to go here regardless, because I have another rook coming in as well. Okay, well now I check here, goes over here, win at the very least a queen. So yeah, he's in real trouble now. Like at the very least I'm winning a queen. Now do I win the queen or do I do something else? Let me see. If I check over here and he goes over here, I have this, goes over there. Yeah, no, I think I just take the queen, yeah. Take the queen, goes over there. Ah, I could have gone. Wait, yeah, no. Oh, okay, he resigned naturally. Yeah, I was looking at this position and wondering, probably there was something better, probably, but I didn't want to risk it. Like, I mean, in this position, like, I mean, no need to risk it. I mean, I'm already up 1,000 pieces, but if you can add a queen to that, like, I mean, you get the resignation almost immediately when you get the queen. But I mean, I was wondering about this. Because, I mean, this, then, I mean, probably wouldn't go there. But if it goes here, then I have this discovery. And the king goes over here. I mean, it can't even go over there. I have this discovery and that's it. It has to interpose queen and get mated. So, after this has to go here. And then I was wondering, like, is there something like this? Goes here, and then something from there? Like this can escape apparently. Like there is that square to escape. So yeah, I mean, I think I did well, but I don't know. I'm wondering Because I mean, if he starts escaping this way, I can also go here, and if he tries to go back, then I have the rook. But I mean, again, I did the right thing by just keeping it simple. Let me see, what was the best move here? Was it taking the queen, or was it? Yeah, it was taking the queen, actually. He was taking the queen. So, even though bishop g7 is still very strong, probably because you repeat the position. Probably because you repeat the position. But yeah, I mean, and then take the queen, I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, that game was good. I think I'm going to go eat something now. Here, when I grabbed the pawn, I started wondering, like, no, I mean here, here when I grabbed like this, I was wondering about this, and if this, there might be this, threatening here, then I would have to play this move, which is ugly, uglier than ugliness, in order to defend this and also defend the knight. And then the knight would probably be able to grab here, so I think I kind of misevaluated this. Like, I thought this was okay. Yeah, this is losing, actually. Even though I'm already castled, this is losing. Like, I'm used to this kind of punishment for this. If you're not castled. If you're not castled, like, you shouldn't capture over here because, you know, there is this trick. But here, there's this trick still because there's a bishop over there. So I didn't count on that, and then when I took over here, it dawned on me that this and this might be a thing. Like, I probably couldn't capture over there, but my opponent took this way, so I was like, yeah, well, free pawn, you know. In that case, it's just a free pawn, and then he gave me a bishop. Like here he didn't have to give me the bishop, but he did, and he probably thought that somehow this was a trade, but I mean, he missed the fact that the queen defends the knight. That's what he missed. Now I went over here. Well, now I just, yeah. So not much to analyze about the game from that point onwards. Here, when I took this way, I mean, actually the computer slightly, no, but both moves are about the same. I was going to say that it looked like it preferred taking with a bishop, but I mean, taking over here, I mean, either they gave me an exchange or they open things up like this. So they open things up like this. Now I go here, and then I'm caging this king, and this is really bad, man, because I can get my pieces, like basically all of them, against that king, and I knew that something bad was going to happen with that king completely locked like that, and with these pawns which interfere. It's not just that the king is open, but these two pawns interfere with the defense of the king by the other pieces. There are also not that many pieces left, so my opponent was desperately in need of like a knight on this square or something that would defend the position. But yeah, it's but yeah, I mean, the game went down when he gave me the bishop over here. And also the taking with this pawn was a mistake. I did realize after I took over here that he could take like this, and then like I'm just giving up the bishop here for no reason at all. Because I'm not grabbing the pawn, I can't grab the pawn. Because of queen d4. But of course, I mean, again, this is what you're expecting from this level. Like, I mean, he's rated below the level where you start. So actually, he played pretty well. Okay, there we go. We get another one against Darko. Played against this guy. I hope this was... Oh, no, I don't think this was the guy. But, I mean, I hope it was the guy from before that I blundered the queen to. That would be nice. Oh, he plays this. Okay, the Stafford. Alright. Okay, he goes over here with clear intentions. I just go there, defend that, because that was also twice under attack. Like, the reason I play this very fast is because I'm very used to having this. The first time I played against the Stafford honestly presented me no trouble, and later on continued not to pose me any real trouble. Now I'm threatening to go over here potentially. Like, this is a pretty good move, if I may say so myself. No, not really. Not really. I was going to say it's a pretty good move, but now I realize something that's slightly wrong about it. Over here, let's get a trade of bishops. Get the trade of bishops. He might go back here trying to open something up over here. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, he doesn't. I can take like this. I think I'm going to take like this. Keep the nice structure. Now bishop over here. If he attacks this knight, then this knight defends the pawn, so no biggie. Defends pawn. I can go over here next. Go for a trade. Which I will do. No, actually not, because if I do that, then he might... I think I'm going to just castle this way. Castle this way sounds good. Yeah, this way, because I mean, obviously I'm not castling into this. I mean, when your opponent pushes all the pawns on one side of the board, I mean, it's usually not a good idea to castle on that side of the board. Now my rooks are also connected, so... I go over here, I think. Can he attack my queen is the next question. Don't think so, so I may just... I go over here. Then I could go like over there, hitting that at some point. I don't know if that would be more than a one mover, to be honest. Well, I can play this move, which looks like it just defends my... This looks like it defends my knight. Let's see if he falls for it. I mean, not only that, but it's I'm building a center. That's why I'm playing it too. Not I mean, you shouldn't play one movers. But I mean, this is not just a one mover. He has to move the queen either here or here, so it's not going to be in like a very, very great position after that. Then I'm probably going to trade the knights voluntarily. I could go here, for instance. But probably just taking over here and then bringing one of the rooks might be a better idea. Probably. Oh no, though, maybe... Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. Let's take over here. And to go here. Prepare potentially something like this. Reinforcing my center. Okay, he goes there trying to hit this. Go over here. This isolates that, which is pretty good. If I go over here and he decides to go over there, then if I go over here and he moves here, for instance, and if I take there, takes back. I don't think it's bad, to be honest. I think it's pretty alright. To put more pressure on that pawn with this afterwards, I think, which is what I intended to do originally. I intended to play this move. Thinking about it. Seriously thinking about it. Goes over there. Oh, if I go over here, yeah, I can still put more pressure on that. So I don't particularly like it, but kind of want to. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. If I go here and here, that's pretty nice. I'm going to go here. Probably not a great idea. I'm opening this up. If he takes with a queen, I mean, that's really bad for him. He will take with a pawn. Oh, he doesn't take. What? Okay. Well, that gives me a really good chance here. Let's go over here. Now I have 2 pawns to the good. So, yeah. I think he didn't... was that a mouse slip, or did he really intend to go there? I think he really intended to go there, but I mean, that's pretty bad. You know, I have everything very well defended. Maybe he intends to go here. I mean, takes here, then I just move the queen like here or something. Oh no. I'm up to pawns. Just up to pawns for nothing. In fact, I can even go here, hitting that. I think I might go here and here. Like this, and he really has to get that bishop to a much more passive position. And if he tries to remain active, I'm going to just trade it off. Which I definitely want to. I mean, definitely want to trade all the pieces if you're up 2 pawns. And you have sort of the better structure. Well, now my structure is also damaged. But still, like, I mean, I have fewer pawn islands. This, even though it looks weird, but it's 1 pawn island. Actually, all of this is 1 pawn island. Interesting. Like, I have just 1 pawn island. Just a little bit weird here. But I'm up 2 pawns, have 1 pawn island. My opponent has 3. 1, 2, 3. I mean, 3, this one. There. I was thinking for a while here. I should also think. I think he's going to play here. I don't think he has much else. I mean, this looks a little bit a little bit scary. I mean, not scary, but like it poses some trouble, is what I would say. Like it looks like a move where I have to be really careful what to do next. And I do believe that I'm forced to take, because if I don't take, then well, this goes over here, and then I have to deal with this pawn, which is perfectly protected. So, well, although wait a second. Actually, I think I may be able to allow that, because then I hit it like this. Then if I go here, 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 something like that, then I go here, then I hit it again. Well, first I would have to defend this one. So yeah, no. I think the safest route is just taking and then maybe going over here. So the rook cannot stay with that. Okay, what's he doing now? Oh, I could go here. I could go here, which I will probably do. I think I'll go here so that that pawn push is not a thing anymore. Yeah, I think I'll go here. Now I don't need to worry about this pawn push anymore. Okay, he wants to align something with my queen. I may just go back or go forward. I have 2 options basically. And he wants to do something like this. Okay. Okay, dude. Okay. Let me go over here. Doesn't have anywhere where he threatens something, and then this pawn can just move. I don't know if I want to go here, because the point is, if I go like there, then I can't push this one, which I wanted to push. However, if I go there and then go here, I can actually push it. He goes like there, then, well, I mean, he can't go there if I do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go here. Here sounds good, yeah. He may try to kick my queen by going here and here or something, but that's just not good, first of all. Now I can offer the trade of bishops. I kind of want to. Trade the bishops here. Can also go here. Trying to get I can also double up there. Double up here sounds really good, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm very low on time, so I should probably aim for that. I'll go for here and here. If it tries to do something like this, then I have the perfect answer to that. Forcing a trade. I don't know what these ends, but I mean, this sack doesn't work. He might sack because honestly he's somewhat lower rated, so he might go for a sack that completely doesn't work. Now he was for that. I just go for this with a trade. He will certainly trade there. If he doesn't, he's losing a pawn. So well, I mean, you take with a queen. I just take your queen. Oh, okay. Am I missing something? Oh, he has to interpose the queen somehow. Okay. Resigns. So this was basically my opponent, first of all, playing... Remember when I told you can play basically whatever in the opening? Well, it doesn't apply to this. Like, you shouldn't play dubious gambits, in my opinion. Shouldn't play dubious gambits. Yes, they might work a lot of times if you know what you're doing, but if your opponent knows what they are doing, then you have to know a bit more than your opponent, or get them low on time, or something along those lines in order to actually win the game, or hope that they shoot themselves in the foot, which is basically how I have lost against these kinds of openings sometimes. But I mean, in general, like Stafford Gambit, yeah, I mean, no big deal. You're just winning a pawn. Like, here I'm up a pawn. I play this, defending that. The other move is this one. This is more like I think this is more like the refutation of the opening if you want to go there. But personally, I mean, I scored very well with this one. And this is the move that I played on reaction to this opening the first time I faced it, and I do believe I also won that game. I'm pretty sure I won it. I haven't had trouble against this opening in general. I lost a couple of times, just like I said, because every now and then I will shoot myself in the foot no matter what I'm playing against. But yeah, this opening, I mean, I played over here almost instantly. You may have noticed, because that way I avoid all the potential jumps over here with pieces, which is another thing that happens in this kind of opening. That's another thing that black is hoping for. They always start like this with the bishop, trying to line something up over here and stuff. I mean, not just that, but I mean, they try to go for this, sort of. So Also, why I played h3. This is also very common. That's why I play the answer immediately. Like, I mean, they are like, oh, okay, you don't fall for this trick, so maybe you fall for this. Like, I mean, I'm threatening mate in 1. Maybe you don't see it. So yeah, I go over here, and also they are threatening this. So go over here, defend both things, and went over there. Okay, so at this point, I was wondering how to proceed exactly. I knew that I had to be with a huge advantage to do extra pawn here for nothing, but yeah, I mean, playing d3, reinforcing this pawn is usually a good idea. And then I wanted to go for a trade of bishops, because usually when you're, especially when they are playing these kinds of dubious openings, your opponents, like, they're hoping for some attack that they are going to get against you, and that you're not going to see coming, and then you're going to, you know, crack and lose or something. So if you remove their pieces, then they don't have pieces to attack you with. Then they tend to lose. So now the opponent is just down a pawn. Here he's trying to kick this knight so that he has a way to regain his lost material. But I mean, I was ready to do this and defend the pawn and the knight at the same time. So now I simply castled. I castle short because obviously he's trying to get something started over here in case I castle long. Maybe he thought, oh, maybe he will castle long. And yeah, I mean, potentially I could have castled long in some other lines, but not in this one, definitely. So I castled over here. He goes over here again, a one mover. He's attacking my knight. And I defend like this. He goes, offers a trade of knights. Now I'm like, yeah, okay, let's trade knights if you want to. And goes over here. Now I have to trade. I mean, if I let him take over here, that doesn't seem very good, because I want to have these 2 pawns as targets. If I double my own pawns over here, then I mean, for no reason, that's that makes my extra pawn less valuable. Then I went over there trying to line something up with the queen. This move I'm not so sure of. I mean, it might have been a mistake. He went over here, attacking this one. Now, this is the reason why I think this move might have been a mistake. Like, I went over here. Looks a little bit dubious after something like this, and then this. And then if takes, then can take here, and I take, and then takes there, and has a bishop a little bit in an annoying fashion, or maybe takes back with the bishop directly. I don't know, but I mean, like, it's probably takes back with the bishop directly, not trading the queens probably when they are down a pawn. But I mean, it looked a little bit not great for me. Now I did this, didn't see much else to do, and thought they were going to take back with a pawn. After they take back with a pawn, I mean, I have to be careful. I probably would have played here, potentially, but then they can just go over there, maybe, and I don't know. It's complicated. It's complicated. But they went over here, so they allowed me to have another pawn. Like, I just simply have another pawn here. By the way, I'm going to turn on. No, I'll just keep the light like this. I will not turn the light on yet. I mean, it's not so late. So the thing is, yeah, here I'm just up a pawn. I don't know if this was a mouse slip. I don't think it was a mouse slip. They took a while to play this move. But yeah, now I defend like this, and yeah, I have an extra pawn. Now they went into the tank very, very deeply, I think, here also. Yeah, they did. Yeah, it says here they took 179 seconds to perform the next move. So basically 3 minutes. Now, now that they didn't play the move I thought they were going to play, I thought they were going to go here. I mean, if they go here, I believe I probably have to take. And after I take, and then takes, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. a little bit uncomfortable. The pressure that they get over there and with the rook over here. I mean, I intended to face that by potentially going over here, already hitting the rook, and like trying to kick this rook out as soon as possible, and go from there. But I don't know. Like, I mean, this move might not be really that great because I mean it disconnects the rooks. You don't want a queen in the middle of both of your rooks in general. But yeah, since he played here, then I can just put pressure over there. Now he's like trying to get some not discovery with this bishop, but I mean like he can go like here for instance, and you know it's like a funny move that he can play, or here or something. I mean here probably not great because it's a move again afterwards, but the thing is, whenever this bishop moves, this pawn is pinned to the rook. I mean, to the queen now. Into the queen. So, due to the rook on the other side. So, I just stepped aside. I like playing simple chess. I stepped aside of the pin. And not only that, but I mean, the reason I stepped aside this way was not just to keep the queen relatively active, but because I had ideas of maybe going for a trade of bishops. But I mean, if I go for this, then he can still go like there or something. It's a little bit not quite clear if I'm achieving what I want to achieve. So here I went, he went back. I don't know why he did that. I don't think he should have done that. Maybe he thought that I would have something against this, but I mean, I didn't have anything or any prospects against that in the near future. Maybe he wanted to like push this pawn or something. Yeah, maybe he wanted to do that. So now he went over here. I intended to double up. Like usually you should acknowledge your opponent's threats. Here maybe he should have already put the bishop over there, acknowledging that I obviously wanted to double up. It was so obvious. Like I'm basically like telegraphing my move here. Like I'm just telling the opponent what I want to do. I mean, there can be nothing else that I'm doing by moving the rook up there than trying to bring another one to bear on the pawn that's only protected once. So here I expected this move, and yeah, this is what I played. So this is what I had in store for it. Aiming for a trade. This doesn't work. There's no defense because I just take. And if they take with a pawn, like was the case, then I just grab over here rook for free. Because I have two attackers, and this rook is defended only once. And if they take with a queen, then I just grab the queen. I grab the queen over here, and after they capture, I can even simplify a little bit. Like, this king is not getting mated over here, first of all, because the rook is not in time to go there. But secondly, because there is an escape square. So yeah, he took this way and just faced his destiny, and then he resigned here where he only had an interposition that's useless, and then it would be checkmate. So that was the game. Let me see if I made something, like did I make some mistake here? Like maybe my technique wasn't perfect. I mean, I got the job done though. But I mean, a lot of times when you're playing these dubious openings, you will play a move that's not like the perfect move, but oh, here queen f3 apparently is better than queen e2. I believe I always play queen e2. Queen f3 strikes me as a little bit weird because you still, well, here you're also blocking the bishop. So what am I saying? I was going to say that you're like taking away like a square that you usually want to use or something, but okay, here bishop b4 apparently is good for them. It makes sense because this is temporarily protected twice, but the point is if I try to develop this bishop, then this is not protected twice. So d3 here, like I said, castles, could have played g4, f4, lots of moves, g3, I don't know. The computer likes everything basically, and it likes also the move that I played. Now, it suggests bishop a3, which might look a little bit ridiculous, but I mean the point is that this pawn is the only thing protecting the knight. Therefore, if you take over here, then takes over there and regains the pawn over here with the check. So, yeah, that if that happened, the bishop goes over here, then I would have to play here back. So yeah, not the best offer of a trade that I could come up with. but I didn't notice that at the moment. Like usually you don't look at moves like bishop a3 where the square is protected by a pawn. You usually don't look at that. But yeah, that was a good move to be played there. Okay, so here rook e8 apparently was better. Like my opponent is playing with pawns. Like not only are they down a pawn, but they also don't try to like exploit their development or something. So yeah, rook e8 would be a more powerful move. Bishop d7, like moves that focus on development. Instead, my opponent is trying to start something just with pawns and with a queen over here. It's there's not much. Okay, so here I go over there, obviously. I mean, defending the pawn. There were other moves, like I could have thrown f4 in here, which attacks the queen, so it's an intermezzo. Like a move that you can do, you know, before you play the move that defends you from the current threat. So, okay, I castled here, short. b3 here was also good, and yeah, I understand that, but I decided to go for that. I didn't want to, like, get all my pawns on light squares where I have a light squared bishop over here. Usually you want your pawns to be on the opposite color. Now he over this, and I play the best move in the position, d4. Because again, this is not just a one mover of hitting the queen. I mean, that part is fun. I mean, I thought that maybe he wouldn't see it, but to be honest, but that wasn't the reason why I played it. I played it because even if they see it, it is a fine move. I'm getting, you know, a full center here. The queen is having to go to a less formidable square, something like this or this, which looks a little bit more passive than where it stands right now. It can't go here because that's protected by the knight, in case you were wondering. Of course, the diagonal all covered by the bishop. So after this, now I just traded. Apparently knight a4, hitting the queen again, was better, but I didn't see any point in going to the rim. It didn't even cross my mind to go to the rim again. I don't know why I would go there. Not exactly sure. So I just traded, which is perfectly fine. And I played here. So yeah, this move probably not stellar, but still the computer likes it. Like, I mean, it doesn't think it's bad. So I mean, yeah, it wasn't really bad. Here, this move, was it okay? Yeah, this move was the dubious one of that lot. Like c4 here was okay, which I did consider. I did consider c4 for a moment, but I didn't even take a look at the complications after en passant. Like, I saw there was en passant, and I was like, I don't know what happens after en passant. I remembered en passant. So yeah, the thing is, I played here thinking, well, if you take, I may recapture here with the queen, or may recapture here with the pawn hitting the queen, and you know, then you have these double isolated pawns. I thought that maybe that would give me something. I thought maybe I would put more pressure on this pawn with c3 afterwards or something. I ended up just taking here. Now, well, of course, even queen b4 apparently fine. If queen b4, I was intending to go like c3, I think. What does he think about queen b4, c3? Yeah, c3 okay. Not the best, but okay. Instead, he played here, and yeah, I mean, he had to play queen b4 or a4. Actually, I'm surprised that queen b4 was better than a4. I thought a4 keeping one pawn island over here would be better, but queen b4 apparently was stronger. I mean, was slightly preferred by the engine, very slightly, and maybe if you let the engine run for a higher depth, maybe it will prefer the pawn move. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, the pawn push definitely inaccurate. I mean, now I'm up 2 pawns for no reason. Now, of course, I support the pawns over here, and you know, just get this structure. Again, I have only 1 pawn island, even though I have double pawns there, and I'm up 2 pawns. So pretty good. Now I went over here. Actually, this is a top engine move. Nice. I intended to put some pressure on that in the future. Thought that my rook would be doing a better job here now that these pawns are completely protected, and also what would be the rook doing behind doubled pawns, you know? no reason to do that. So, okay, he went over here. Oh, queen f4, the best move. Nice. So yeah, my assessment of this move being the best was actually correct. I mean, I didn't know if this was the best, but when I analyzed my options, I thought that this looked like the most active move I could play and get away from this nastiness. So I played it for practical purposes, but it turned out to be good, actually. And okay, so here, what did I do? I went... Wait, what? Ah, he went there. Yeah, of course, it was his turn. And now I went here. This is good move, good move. I mean, doesn't lose the advantage. But basically, nothing loses the advantage, I think, here. So I could have played anything else, pretty much. Okay, bishop b3. Now, again, I go bishop d1. Now he has to go bishop d1, pretty much. And apparently, queen b7 also was okay. Yeah, I mean, bishop queen b7 is also okay because notice that provided that this rook is defended twice, if you go queen b7, then it's defended twice and first by a rook and then by a queen. Because, I mean, if it's defended twice like now, the queen is here. So, yeah, if I take twice there, then I just I get the queen. But the thing is... if the queen is over here, then if you take over there and then takes, you cannot take here and win a pawn. Because if you take here, then this falls with check. And if you will go over here, then they take with a rook. If you take over there, then they take with a queen. So, I mean, you're not winning a pawn in the end. And then you go into an endgame with the queen. So queen b7 also was fine. But yeah, I mean, they had to do something like that. Queen b7 or bishop d1. Bishop d1 was the obvious one, the one I was expecting. Now, okay, so they went here. That doesn't work for the aforementioned reasons. After I take here, then if they take with a queen, then that's a queen. And if they take with a pawn, as it happened in the game, then I take here and I have another attacker. So they shouldn't capture this rook. They should be like, okay, I'm down a rook. And, well, basically resign because it's just over. But I mean, if they want to continue playing, like, the computer suggests like g6 or rook e8 where it's defended by the queen or something. I mean, I would have definitely traded this rook as well, so that I have a rook and my opponent doesn't. Like, just one rook versus, like, queen and rook versus a queen. And but yeah, here this is just mate. So that was that game. Yeah, pretty decent game, if I may say so myself. I wonder if this is the opponent that I faced before, that I just blundered my queen against, which was really annoying. I hope it's him, but I don't think so. Let's see. Oh yeah, it is. It is. So awesome. I got my revenge. That's awesome. Want to check this game? Want to check this game again? See what's up. So this was a Sicilian. This was the game that I lost against J-Corn. The first one that I lost. This, the Sicilian Dragon. Opponent wants to fianchetto the bishop naturally. I went bishop e2. I had not much of an idea of what to do. Again, the theory, I don't know it, but the point is, if I go bishop e2, I'm guarding this, so there's no knight jump for the time being, and then I can go bishop e3 without problems. So I went bishop e3. Usually you don't want to play bishop e3 and get hit by this, where, you know, I don't want to give the bishop pair. But here that doesn't happen because I still have the queen on its home square and I do have the bishop there. I mean the light squared bishop. So now, given precisely because of that, because of this battery, I played g4 right away. I thought that would be a good move. Let me see if the engine thinks it's okay. Yeah, it's the second best move in the position, actually. That's pretty cool. What's the other move? Queen d2. Yeah, queen d2, I mean, pretty obvious move. Like you're just again going for the queenside castles. I thought that if queen d2, then they would just jump over here. I mean, it wouldn't have crossed my mind to just play this move right away and just allow this. But yeah, apparently, okay, apparently. Let me see if I go here and they go here. There's some tactic or something. Bishop g4, bishop g4. Yeah, I mean, the computer is like, yep, whatever. Like, just play a 3 pro or something. And then you have pawns on light squares. No problem. Like, play without a light squared bishop. I played here, here. It wants me to go knight b3, hitting the queen. But I mean, this is completely fine. I don't believe I played a bad opening here. Now I just grab the pawn. Gets hit. Go over here, get a trade. Like, I mean, after he goes over here, apparently he had to go like rook c8. Wow, rook c8 is wild. Like, what? Is he about to like sack something over there? I don't know. But I mean, if he had done that. But hit over here, I played the best move in the position, offering the trade of queens, pretty much forcing it because I'm also hitting that. And then takes. Could have played b5 apparently. b5 is kind of crazy because I can just take that. But I mean, b5 is crazy, but it's plus 1.2. So that means that there's something to b5 that's not just giving up a free pawn. So interesting move by the computer. I mean, this is the second move that it was suggesting. Now this happened. Okay, I went over here. I'm doing fine. Bishop a6 was actually better, supposedly. Bishop d3 also. And I don't think this is a bad move. I connect the rooks, and yeah. Then I played bishop d3, and here apparently I had to play rook d1. Basically, every line that it wants to play is with rook d1. Now, I wonder which rook to d1 because it doesn't say, but let's say this one. So I considered rook d1. I think I considered it. But instead I played here. I thought this was nice, like just shielding this completely and supporting everything over here so that I could move this knight. Oh yeah, I wanted to support this so I could move the knight because I thought that he would go here. That's what I thought. Apparently now the computer wants still bishop b4. Bishop b4, and then it says knight b5 actually going forward. Yeah, I mean, I would have just come back to e2. Still, I mean, I think it's okay. So this move, now it wants rook d1. Bishop c5 also good. Rook c5, rook d1. Here, knight e2 it doesn't like. Thinks h4 was better. Thinks also bishop b5 was better. Offering trade over there. Activating the bishop. Bishop e2 it also likes. Again, offering the trade. Like basically contesting that file. I mean, what's funny about all these moves is that the offer of this trade would have potentially avoided what happened to me later, because I ran into trouble because of allowing the rooks to live on really, really nice files. Like semi-open file here for them. There's only one pawn that belongs to me, not to them. And open file, no pawns. So yeah, the only open file in the position, uncontested, because I'm shielding my own rook with a bishop. Still, I mean, this was completely fine by me, but I'm just saying, sometimes you want to look for the reason why you land yourself in the bad positions in the first place, where you made the bad decisions, instead of what the bad decision was. Like, regardless of what the bad decision was, maybe you want to think, well, how could I have played in order to avoid getting into the bad situation in the first place? So, king e3 here. And again, like, that's avoiding something in the future. King e3. Like, well, I mean, yeah, I wasn't going to play king e3. But later I could have played king e3. I think I considered it later. No, I didn't even consider it later, I think. But yeah, the thing is, king e3 already avoids what happened. Knight c3, it's also knight c3 back. I played here, and I'm basically giving away all my advantage here, according to the computer. It wants bishop h4, pinning my knight to the rook. And every time you push a pawn, you're weakening something. In this case, this diagonal is very juicy for white. So yeah, I shouldn't play this. Now he's hitting my bishop. Again, king e3 defends this very well, all of this. But instead, I took over here, which is second best move. It seemed to me like I was just grabbing a pawn, so went for it. c3 was the best, and in fact, here this was a mistake. Like, now they are basically lost. I could have also taken with a rook, but taking with a pawn was better objectively. But frankly, when I didn't take with a rook was because I thought this might be falling. Then I realized that actually that wasn't falling, and so I thought, well, why didn't I take with a rook? It seemed like a more practical solution to take with a rook, honestly. So I do believe it was more practical. Here, I already messed up. Like, if I had taken with a rook, then this wouldn't have happened. What happened over here wouldn't have happened. Which is eventually what made me lose. I mean, I was very low on the clock, but that's why I lost. So here, king e3. Like, had to play king e3. I do believe I considered this move. Did I play this move? No, I played something else. But I did consider this move a lot. But then, what did I think about this move? I thought like he would take over here or something. Or what did I think? Or did I think he was going to go here? No, not here, because if here, then there's this, and the rook is defended by the knight. Oh no, something I didn't like about rook c1. So I pushed this pawn and didn't realize the kind of danger that I was in. This was a blunder. This was, you could say, the game-losing blunder. At this point, just bishop g4, and it's over for me. Like, if I don't want to lose the material immediately, I have to play rook e1 only move. And then this other rook comes in, which of course my opponent found. It's basically the only thing they have to do, and it's a very obvious way of putting more pressure. So I went back here, one of the best moves in the position. Perhaps not the best, but one of the best. I was hoping for him to, I don't know, start giving me some checks and maybe like allow a repetition or something. But I couldn't find anything. Like, I thought about this for like a minute and I couldn't find anything, so I played this. And I was right, there was nothing. Like, no good defense. Like, I played one of the best moves. Then they played over here, and yeah, I mean, like, it's just completely over. Like, I mean, I thought about, you know, where can I move the knight? What can I do? But I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I'm getting mated basically if I try anything with this knight. I mean, either mated or I lose the knight to a fork. But probably getting mated. So yeah, here I just either resigned or just let the clock run out. But I mean, if I let the clock run out was because I just thought, and you know, by the time I finished thinking, I had like 5 seconds or something. So I was like, well, you know, it's over. But I mean, it's not that like I wanted to run the clock out on purpose. Although I was already super mega tilted. I'm getting tilted by rewatching this game makes me tilted. But yeah, that's what happened. So that's what happened in this one, and I think that can give you an example of how to actually analyze your losses. Now let me see what happened in the other game. Was it this one that I lost? This one I also lost. I lost like 3 in a row. I'm going to check this one also with the engine. So, okay, I played the Sicilian. We got into this. Played e5. I think e5 is fine. e5 is okay. I mean, not the best move. Prefers knight c6, prefers g6, a6, many other moves. Like, again, I don't know much theory, so knight c6, but I mean, it's still okay. I wasn't playing anything ridiculous. Here, oh, I once already d5. d5 striking the center. Whenever you can get d5 without any repercussions in the Sicilian, usually you would like to play it. Here there are no repercussions. In fact, if my opponent takes over here, then they get forked immediately over there, so I'm winning material. But oh wait, actually not, because there's the knight hit. So but yeah, but the point is this is also defended, so no problem. Like takes and by just recapture with something like, I don't know, if queen or whatever. Now I played what did I play? I just castled, yeah, which was okay. I went here because this allowed me to just go after the bishop. Like, I mean, now they either allow me to have the bishop pair or they just let me have this pawn. So they allowed me to have the bishop pair, which I was kind of happy about. Played here. Okay, wants to go after the other bishop. I don't know, like... I don't know what that does, honestly. I mean, they can just move it, but... Yeah. Like, I mean, there was obviously a deeper purpose, but I don't care enough to look for it. I mean, that's that wasn't a crucial mistake or anything. It wasn't a mistake. It was just the computer finding something that apparently is objectively better, but still, like, not winning or anything. So, okay. Traded here. Went over there, which kind of expected. I just took, naturally. I could have also taken on c4 apparently, but it is kind of wild to allow this. Like, I mean, I didn't see any reason to allow that, so just took over here, simple. And I don't regret that. I think I was doing fine until here. Now, queen c2 basically forces the trade of queens, because I would be also hitting this this pawn. I didn't see that, and I went two squares over here. Now the opponent can actually avoid the trade of queens. If I had gone here, then probably I would have had basically the game in the bag, considering that I was playing against someone who in general I believe played worse than me. So possibly I would have had the game in the bag at that point. I mean, I had a nice position, I had the bishop going into an endgame, but I mean, this queen survived until the very end, and my queen didn't. So yeah, would have been a good idea to trade the queens, which I tried, but I mean, I tried the wrong way. Like, since my idea with this was to trade the queens, I should have played that, which forces the trade of queens. But I didn't see that naturally. Went over here. Oh wait, I did trade the queens. Oh, this wasn't the game where it ended because of the queens on the board. Never you mind. This wasn't the game where I got absolutely crushed by this knight in the endgame. Precisely, I thought that going into the endgame with a bishop was nice, and then my opponent with double pawns and a knight versus a bishop crushed me. But I mean, granted, when you look at this position, you should be able to assess that white stands really well here. The computer says white stands better. And not winning, but better. I mean, you know, a lot of space. Has more active pieces all over. This bishop, I mean, it is a bishop, but that's the only thing it has going on for it, that it is a bishop. This is locked. So my opponent did get a very powerful knight. I mean, if the center is closed, if the position is more closed, then the knight will shine over the bishop that has no diagonals to play with, you know. So yeah, I played here. This was already slightly dubious, but I mean, it's the second best move apparently. B5, B5, yeah. B5 already stopping these pawns from coming forward. And I believe B5 I did find later. At this point, I said, after taking, which I had to do, I said, okay, after I played whatever move I played, I think I played here, I thought, oh, I should have played B5 so that I prevent this. And yeah, I realized it too late. I realized it after playing this move. And now, of course, my opponent played B5, and now I'm losing. I mean, maybe not losing, but I mean, it's really bad. There's at the very least, like, very big advantage white. I think I'm just losing. I'm just losing here. And yeah, that was the crucial mistake. If there is one mistake that can, like, take the blame for the loss is not pushing B5 here. But already I landed myself in a really bad endgame. I don't know if I would have survived this anyway. Like scratch what I said before. I just confused this game with the game with the queen. Like that wasn't it. This game is much harder to say which was the crucial mistake. Like I mean that was one of them, not playing b5 there. But already I was much worse there anyway. Like the computer really prefers white, and I knew that allowing this was bad, but I knew also when I looked at this that I had no option but taking here. Like I had no choice. I had to do it. And I was right on that assessment. I was also right on the assessment that this was really powerful for white, and I was much worse here. I realized that. And yeah, I was also right that b5 here was the move. Now I don't know if there's much to look at on the rest of the game. Like I mean, it was all bad. A5 was better than A6 apparently. Like I mean, of course, when I played A6, I was hoping for something like this, and thought that I would be able to stop that pawn on its tracks and maybe get a little bit of play. But I mean, my opponent here doesn't have to take, and if I go over here, I have a you know, nicely positioned pawn there, stopping this knight from coming in. And if they take en passant, I have I have basically what I wanted to happen. But I knew that he was going to push this pawn here to defend. Like when I played this, I knew that he was going to do that. I was like, okay, maybe and hopefully he takes, but I know that, you know, this is the move and he's probably going to play it. And yeah, that happened. Now I stopped the knight. Now I thought that maybe I could hold this, but I mean, it looked terrible. Like I already have a bishop that's working as a pawn. So really, really bad trying to hold the position together, and yeah, it only went downhill from here. Like this. Rook here, best move as well. Like my opponent played excellent endgame technique here. Like his technique was magnificent in order to win this. So yeah. He did like everything right, like absolutely everything right here. So yeah. Props to my opponent, played a terrific game. And as for me, like, where did I really go wrong here? Let me see if I can find like some point where I got myself into the position that got me, you know, losing. Well, queen c2 might have made things better, because I mean, after the trade of queens, I have a very active rook, and then if my opponent tries to do something, then I have, you know, I can support my rook with another rook, and yeah, I'm in good shape. So that probably a crucial moment, and it was the only move that gave black an advantage, so understandably so. And it achieves what I wanted to achieve, which is trade, but also it trades with the rook on the opponent's second rank, so on the 7th rank. Wonderful. But failed to see that. So that would have been much better than what I played, and it would have been even better than what would have happened had they accepted my queen trade, which they didn't have to. And here I pursued the queen trade like crazy. I shouldn't have done that. Like already, yeah, rook c1, and like the computer knows that this is good, and my opponent found this to be good, which is incredible. Like they realized that this was good for them. But yeah, this is good for them. And here, yeah, I think those queen moves were the crucial point. Queen c2 here was magnificent, and I almost found it because I went with the idea of trading the queens and activating my rook. But I did the wrong thing. I went over here. That was wrong. Like I thought, oh, I go over here, I'm hitting the queen and hitting there, they have to trade, and no, they don't. And then I thought, oh, okay, maybe now they will trade, and yeah. If they trade, I mean, I was right that this is good for me if they trade, but they don't have to trade. And yeah, this is bad. So yeah, from here on out, I don't think I need to check this. My opponent played perfectly, and I did what I could, but my position was dreadful. I mean, the only thing is, again, I missed this b5 move over here, which I missed until I played here, and then I didn't miss it. Then I saw it, but I had already played. So yeah. So that was it about this game. So I think I made a good job of analyzing it. And now let's look at my friend Darko, which I did beat later, but here he got me. Man, I had got him first, but then he got me. So this is the Najdorf, by the way. C5, controlling the center. Like usually in the Sicilian, the main purpose is you're controlling the center from the flank, so you're preventing the opponent from building a full pawn center. A big center over here. Which is what you're doing when you play something like e5 as well, but here from the flank. So it gives this asymmetry to the position, which leads to some interesting imbalances that may give the black player a chance for some interesting play, like to get a lively position as opposed to something where you're just one move behind. And this is the Najdorf, so I take over here. I mean, this is not the Najdorf yet. I don't take. I develop the knight hitting this pawn. They defend with knight c3, developing another piece. Then I play a6, preventing anything from coming over there. Sort of a waiting move. You still don't want to commit the knight. Maybe we'll go here, maybe we'll go there. You don't know still what scheme of development you're going to follow. You're going to see what white does. So white goes over here. Now e5 is the main move here. I knew that much. Then I was out of theory already. So I went here. Bishop e7 was better, but still this is okay. So again, I'm not going to be tough on myself for any moves that the computer says, oh, well, you should have, where the computer says you should have played this move or this other move. It was better. Well, I mean, I'm not like losing or anything, so as long as I'm not playing something that's losing, then well, all right. Well, here I could have played queen a5 check, and they have to go back with the knight. And then I would have, this knight would have been pinned, and I could have captured this pawn. So this, and I just grab the pawn. I mean, or they block another way that's not this one, and then I grab the knight, but they wouldn't have done that, I think. Oh, wait, I don't know. I don't remember. Darko maybe blundered a couple of pieces in our other game. So maybe, I don't know. But yeah. This sort of a fork, but it's not really a fork. I mean, they go back and that's it. But you do get the pawn. So it works as a double attack because the knight would be pinned after he goes to c3. So I missed that. And I missed that, and it was the only check in the position. So usually you should look for checks that are available for both you and your opponent. That's the first thing to look for in terms of forcing moves. Those are the most forcing moves because your opponent has to do something about the check, and the answers are very like you can count them with the fingers of your hand usually. So you can just say, well, you can pinpoint exactly what the answer is very easily. So very forcing moves, and yeah, I should have done that, but instead I played b5, which is okay, but I mean the other one was much stronger. And here I believe I also saw that maybe b4 and here, but the thing is I thought they are going to grab here. So, oh, but if I don't move the rook, they don't grab here. Yeah. Yeah, I played here and then I saw this. Then I saw this, but now the pawn is undefended. Yeah, that's what happened. Here I didn't see it. Like here I can already do that and that. It's still not winning though. So given the advantage that it apparently gives you, it's one of those positions where it might not be advisable to do it, to be honest. I think I did fine by just moving the rook and continuing like this. Even though I didn't see that, but I mean, in a lot of cases I have seen that before and I have done it. And in a lot of positions, I have realized that you should actually not do that. Because it may land you into some practical trouble. Here, this wasn't ideal. Apparently, my opponent goes a4. And then position is a little bit messy. Or, I mean, advantageous for white, apparently. I'm not going to even look at that. But yeah. Okay, so now I just grab this pawn. Apparently grabbing with the other knight was even better. The reason I didn't grab with the other knight was because I thought that this jump or this bishop over here would happen. That's the reason I didn't grab with the other knight. But still, this is good. I mean, what I did was good. Took over here, took with the rook, putting pressure on the knight. Knight goes over here, hitting the pawn. I missed that, but then I was okay after it. Like, I realized I was okay. I played here. I could have also played queen b6, which I believe I thought about. And then I went for this other move instead. Went here. I pushed there, and now this is a mistake. It's a mistake because they can just... yeah, I realized this. I realized this. Remember, I saw it. I said, here, my opponent is threatening to capture because there's this. And then, after this, I just forgot that they could still go for that. So they could still go for that, and my pawn is not able to capture there. And I'm not able to recapture here because of this. So then I realized it, and fortunately he didn't. But yeah, he could have just taken here, and then he was just simply up a pawn, and not just simply up a pawn, but this is a very dangerous pass pawn. So huge advantage white if they did that. Bishop b5 was also good with the check. And okay, so I didn't realize it. Now I played this. Didn't have much of a choice. I wanted to defend my rook and also defend this pawn. I grab over here. But apparently grabbing, yeah, it was the only move. So grabs there. I took here, takes there, takes there. Since they grabbed the pawn in the process, apart from the two minor pieces that they gave me, then they were sort of okay. Wait, did I grab a pawn? No, because I grabbed this one. So yeah, apparently this is still advantage white. Incredibly enough, a slight advantage, but I mean it's still advantage white. Of course, there's this move bishop b5, which is basically what they had to play to get the advantage. King e7. I had no other choice. Like, I mean, that was the move. If you try anything else, then you get. I mean, bishop d7 is just mate e1. Like it just mate you with the queen. So okay, so f5 defending the knight. And black has an advantage here, apparently. Even g6 is okay. What? g6? Oh yeah, because this was already protected, and I saw that. I saw it was protected. I remember seeing that, but I didn't want to like leave this. Or at some point, I remember seeing that the knight was protected. I think I saw it here, but I still didn't want to leave that there. So I went here, not realizing. For a moment, I believe after I played the move, I realized it, that the rook would not just take here, but defend this. Because I was like, yeah, I mean, you attack this pawn, but I attack this. But yeah, now they can just grab, and yeah. Now white is better, much better. Went over here, should have gone rook c5, apparently. Went over there, so now knight b5. And this is crazy, but I'm not actually oh yeah, because he can take over here, I take, and then he goes over here, forks, and gets back the piece. So that's why I'm not winning here. But now I'm winning. He played over there. I went here. Okay, this was okay. Knight c7 was actually better, apparently. I mean, I had to defend this because it was twice under attack and pinned. But I defended like this. Now I went knight c7, I think. No, I went here. Now rook a4 was actually good. Because apparently I can take that. Because, I mean, I just get crushed over here. So I can't take that. Makes sense. Let's see exactly how it happens. If I take over here, queen e6, then I have to go here. And queen e8. Only move here. Rook d1. Only move for them. And yeah, it gets sufficiently dangerous for me to have to basically agree to a draw if I have the chance, because at that point it's dangerous, like really dangerous. instead they kicked me here, giving me back the winning advantage. I went here, this. I expected pretty much all of this, I think. King f7 was the top move. Nice. Like, I just didn't want to get any funny checks over there. I wanted to get the king out of the pin here with the bishop. And wanted to start activating my pieces. Went over here, hit that rook. That was basically a one mover, but well, I was kind of desperate. I also had very little time at this point. Went back here. I don't remember what my idea was. I think it was to go back here and try to get a trade. Went over there. I went here, and this is where it started to go really wrong, when I thought here that I had something. Because I knew that this rook was defended by the queen, but then I forgot here after this check, and I was like, okay, I get the trade of queens here. And yeah, well, if you trade the queens, then you're trading the defender of this rook. So I had to play bishop e7, very easy move to see if you realize that the queen is the sole defender of this, and therefore you can't trade it. So yeah, very easy move to play if I had realized that, but I didn't see that. I had only a minute and a half, so I was trying to play fast. And so in like 1 second, I think, yeah, in 1 second I played queen here. So well, that was a problem. And yeah, now I'm just lost after this. And I found my way back still. Here the opponent had to go rook b8 apparently, supporting their own passed pawn. Instead they went over here defensively. Now knight a8 was okay, but yeah, I thought I had to do something, and so I went here. This is completely losing after rook d7 fork of king and knight, which would also hit this bishop, and yeah, it would be completely over. They also had other moves like rook c1, which is basically skewering. I mean, it's a skewer because there are two pieces that are completely hanging, even though both are lower value than the rook, but they are both undefended. There's no way to defend both of them one with the other. So this also wins. Man, everything wins at that point. Here they went there. I went here. They went rook c1. No, rook dc1. They had to go with the other rook. They had to go with this rook, apparently. So they went here. I blundered again. I had to go bishop d5. I didn't know what I could do, so I mean, I was less than a minute on the clock. I did consider this move, I believe. I mean, even if I didn't say it out loud, I'm pretty sure I considered this move. Like, I mean, there's not much to consider, right? Like, I mean, if you go over here, then you're aligning these two, although they're temporarily, this one is protected by this, but I did consider that move. Went over here. Rook c8 now was really good. Of course, you can't take the rook because then comes a new queen, and the rook is supporting the queening. So rook c8 would have been nice. But he played over here, and here I took like an idiot. I mean, I realized it afterwards that, well, my opponent is just simply getting the queen. And yeah, I realized that after playing this move in 1 second, I realized that now they were going to queen. So they queen. Now I go bishop d6. I'm still losing here. He was at this point when I hit the rook, they should have allowed me to actually go for the queening with rook c1. Yeah, rook c1. And if I queen, they go here. If I go here, then this is lost with check. So queen versus two bishops. Yeah, good luck for me. So my opponent panicked and took over here. And now I'm able to actually draw this if I had enough time. But I didn't. So in fact, the computer thinks that black is better here. Which makes sense. I mean, I have 3 pieces for the value of 1 piece. So I have a lot more, you know, pieces I can move around and coordinate between each other. So what they usually say that, you know, united we stand. Well, this is a case of that. Like, I mean, you know, it's more powerful having 3 instead of having the sole queen doing everything. But still, like, I mean, it's basically a draw with perfect play. But the big problem was, let me see, it was around here when I didn't block with a bishop. When I didn't realize that, you know, if I block over here, I'm removing the defender of this. So that was the big moment. I should have just played bishop e7. So, well, not that much to learn from that game. Overall, I think this platform is pretty good. I mean, pretty good platform. But I'm going to say, if you're a beginner, you're going to absolutely get obliterated here. I mean, I think the level of the players is pretty high. I mean, there's no like true beginner so far that I have seen on this platform, but I was kind of expecting something like that. In fact, I was expecting that I would potentially even be losing left and right, maybe, because I mean, whenever I see like the supporters of Hans Niemann, and this is his platform, whenever I see his fans and stuff, it looks like you're watching, like you're interacting with people that have actually a lot of knowledge about the game. So I expected them to be very strong, and I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. In fact, what I did face, I mean, at least I got a decent performance considering what I thought I was going to be facing here. But still, like, I mean, I have to say I tilted a lot there when I got like 3 straight losses. You know, I didn't expect that to go below the starting level at some point. That was a little bit discouraging. But so yeah, that's why I would say if you're a beginner, I mean, I don't know what you're going to face here. Honestly, I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe if I had kept on losing, I would have like faced someone a little bit easier to defeat. But in general, I didn't find these games to be particularly easy. Like, I had a couple of games where I won when my opponent blundered a piece, but it wasn't like they blundered a piece right out of the gate either. Like, it took them a while. So yeah, I mean, if that's the lowest level that you can meet here, then I mean, level is pretty high, I would say, compared to the other websites. And yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, hopefully more people will join this platform. I mean, I know it must be like, even though Hans is loaded and, you know, he can invest a lot of money here, but the thing is, it is hard. I put myself in his shoes, and it is hard to start a platform that will compete with such giants as chess.com and Lichess, and you need the people. Like, it's like if you're starting, you know, an app of some sort, like that's like a social media app. How are you going to sell that to the public? You need people, first of all. Like, it's really hard to get that initial batch of people, and so far they have a bunch of people. Like, you have to wait a bit, but I mean, it's much better than I expected. I expected that I would have to wait for like, I don't know, half an hour for a game or something. But I mean, even though you have to wait a bit, but I mean, it's not that long at all. Again, I mean, I made things easier in that sense for myself by picking one of the time controls that they had there. I do believe they need to fix that. They need to add a time control that's longer than that. Although, I mean, there are two sides to that coin. First of all, if they add another option and they keep the ones that are there now, that means that the players will be even more divided among the time controls, and it will be harder to find a game. That is probably why they keep it this way for now. But maybe they should change one of these time controls so that at least there is one time control that's really long. Like instead of 10-0, I mean, make it like, I don't know, at least 10+2, something, I don't know, something with increments, something a little bit longer than this, I would say. For those who want a longer game, then you can keep like the bullet and the blitz for those who want that. But for those wanting a longer game, I think that option should be there and probably in place of what they have for the rapid, because this rapid is very close to the blitz. I mean, it's there's too little time. I got into positions where, I mean, I was winning or I was, you know, in very good shape, and then I had very little time on the clock, and so the time pressure also got me there. But I mean, overall, I mean, still great website. It has everything that you would expect from a website to play chess. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this this episode of me trying to climb up the ranks on Endgame.ai, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one, hopefully. So take care and bye bye.